not Isheshe. Whoever gave him a reading may have been from Nigeria. I'm not denying that. But the ideologies of Kayel is not Isheshe. In Isheshe teaches that that Ifa Afoshe, Ifa divination, originated from beyond the realm of the physical realm. It teaches that it was a gift that was given for humanity to connect and to communicate with the deities, with the divinities. It teaches that it teaches you your destiny, and it's based on a binary mathematical code. Now, what he's referring to, the changes, he's referring to the stanzas or the patakis or the verses of the Odu Ifa, which is 16 major Odu, 256 minor Odu. Within those 256 minor Odu, they're made up within some of them 12 to 16 patakis or verses. And this is what we say Ifa is a growing biological system, because it's based on what most people refer to as the Akashic records, or the universal bank of all-knowing infinite information of past, present, and future. And when you cast Ifa, or when you do oracular divination, which is found all over the planet Earth, you tap into that. Kayel is misled. You should remove that name Ifa by Malike from your name, and you should come study up under me and my Baba, and we'll get you right, brother. And I'm looking forward to this debate, because this brother is misled.
Okay, so that was a preview, right? Are we doing this debate tonight, or are we gonna get our receipts together?
Preview.
Or what? I'm asking. Hello?
I'm ready, but I don't think he's gonna do it. Looks like he never did it on the Lions Den.
What's his name again, Mr. Khalil?
Kayel.
Kayel? Are you there, brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Are we gonna set up this debate and you're gonna get your receipts together and everything?
Hey, I'm sorry because yes, I'm gonna have to let my friends get in contact with his friend, and I'm gonna let my friends get in contact with Kayel friend, and we gonna make this debate happen, right? Yeah.
I would love to be a moderator on this. Please.
You would love to be the moderator? You want to be the moderator? Oh, shit.
I want to see this.
Put in bids, y'all. Y'all got to make it happen. Mika is excited about this.
Yeah. I gotta hear this, because
it's not a debate. It's a versus dialogue. We don't use debate no more.
Oh, come on now, Greg.
Tell Roster Man. Roster Man in the audience, come on up here, Roster Man. Ask me.
Oh shit, we have CEO Craig. What you CEO of, bro? What you CEO of?
Making sure these motherfuckers on this goddamn yard doing their job, bro.
Yeah, okay. Let me big screen.
Keep that
He's
safety,
CEO.
Hey, man. I have to say this, man. Hey, Kayel, I recommend that you study under the master of Kung Fu Kansu. You need some help, brother. I'm hearing you, brother, and I'm like, yeah. You need to get this study, man. But when y'all gonna try to have this debate, man? I see Kansu is ready for the Kung Fu.
Hey, a versus dialogue, brother. Battle the ideologies. Yeah, versus dialogue.
I just wanted to hear you say it, bro. Yeah, the battle of ideologies. When is it going down, Ratchet, between these two brothers?
I don't know. I think Kayel might be a little scared. I think Kansu ready though.
Kansu
always ready, receipts, bro.
That right, that Kansu stay ready. That right?
Yeah. So Kayel, he gonna have, he a diva. He gonna have all these stipulations. But we gonna meet them stipulations. We gonna iron out the details. I guess he'll want our brother Kansu to be all over the place. He very tactical, Kayel. So
yeah, is he afraid that Kansu is pretty much omnidirectional in a lot of ways. He don't know which way to turn. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
right. I am. Hey, listen, you never know what
Oh man.
that boy, they don't know. Listen, Kansu gonna come from all the angles. And listen, I'm coming from the Shanti Fanti dictionary. I'm coming from the
Shanti Fanti dictionary.
I'm coming from that Malachi scroll. I'm coming from.
You coming from the scroll?
It's over for Kyle. It's over for him.
Kyle, where you at, brother? I don't like this. Where you at, brother?
I'm here. Put him on the screen.
Yeah, turn on your camera for a second. Put up a book and turn on your camera like you did last time, brother.
I mean, I'm laying down right now. So,
you laying down?
Man,
Okay.
He tired, y'all.
Kyle, you better not fall asleep. You know how you get, bro. As soon as you get comfortable, you know how you get, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. I'm just waiting on dinner to finish up, bro. I'm chilling.
So is you interested in the debate, brother Kyle?
No, the battle of the ideology.
I mean, my fault. The battle of the ideology, the verses.
Just call it the verses, bro. We're just gonna say the verses for sure.
Yeah, the verses. Yeah.
Not really, but I mean, I have a conversation.
It's a verses, brother. It's not a debate. It's a verses.
Nah, I'm just saying, like, it's not really interesting to me. Just to be honest with you, but
and that's cool. But let me tell you this. Let me say this to the Paradigm TV. Now, here's the thing. I had this same encounter with Garfield Reed, Sean Ennett Harrot.
Sean P. Oh man,
Sean is petrified of me. Sean is petrified of me.
You name dropping. I don't need my people too. You name dropping. I don't care.
It's not an issue of being petrified or scared. It's an issue with for us to have this conversation, you have to at some point accept that there's a morphology that happens in different ethnic groups and things.
You know, you can't tell somebody what they have to do before debate. Just say you want to debate or not. That's it. Stop with the technology.
I don't want to debate you, sir.
Great. All right, let's move on. So back to the extraterrestrial conversation. And whoever from the Dagger Squad or Amon Ra Squad wants some smoke, Kansu is here. And you just seen that I just ran off one of the representatives from this Amon Ra Dagger Squad. So boom, let's go and kick him off the panel. Move on.
Damn.
Get your ass out of here with your scary ass. But get out here. You like me in the lines then. Lord have mercy.
No.
Hey, the versus dialogue was gonna be good.
Felicia, let's move on with the topic.
Hold on. Let me.
We were at the talk about the Anunnaki now.
Hold on.
Your scary ass, but get on somewhere.
Hey, Kansu.
Squad.
Hey, let me get this right quick, Kansu, before you go back. It's gonna be structured, Kyle. If you interested in it, right? I think you interested in it. You just playing us right now. You try to play cool. You try to play cool. I know Kyle.
You called me randomly. You know what I'm saying? I picked up the phone because I rock with you. But like, this ain't something I'm interested in dialoguing against because like these are things that are known fact. This is kind of like imagine someone coming to you and asking you about the flat Earth. You're not gonna be interested in doing that debate because
man, why you had to do that? Why you had to put my heartstring? Why you trying to put up my heartstring like that? You know I will be interested in it.
Well, imagine something that's like that you know that is completely crazy to even debate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are false ideas.
Man, you talking to somebody who ain't even got no debates under their belt.
That's
period.
Because I'm a teacher. I'm not a debater.
Okay, where you teach at? How many books you wrote? Stop playing, boy. Get out of here. Let's move on with the topic. I'm done for the night.
If you want to name debate the books,
where your work's at? Show me your work. You ain't teaching nowhere nothing. You ain't teaching nothing. Stop playing.
I literally just finished a book right now. I finished it about a week and a half ago. It's about a system.
Okay, where can I order it from? What is it called?
Well, I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's about system engineering and network engineering deal. It's a children's book. I also have a book.
Man, hey, Let's finish this extraterrestrial talk. Or Kansu is going to finish his dinner and then retire.
Okay.
Get out of here, man.
Thank you. Your brother asked me a question.
We need some heat.
And I responded.
We need some real almond raw dagger. But the reason you ain't gonna have no real almond raw dagger squad guys come here because I've ran them all off. That's why.
You is a beast.
I am the beast. Woo! Ric Flair.
Hey.
Ric Flair.
Kyle, I love you, brother. I love you, brother.
Ratchet Craig and what's it? Casual. What's your name? Casual Craig or Sophisticated Craig?
Classic.
Bro,
Classic.
I really hate you, bro. Why do you throw shots at me, bro? I didn't do shit to you tonight, Kyle.
I wasn't throwing the shot at you, bro. Like, you know what, man? Y'all niggas is sensitive, man. Make your money.
Hey, I love you, brother. Can I hit you with the black Jesus medicine? Can I hit you with the black Jesus? I love you, brother. I love you, brother.
I'm just not interested in that particular topic, bro.
We'll talk though, bro. We'll talk.
Stay off of social media.
We're gonna let him rock. We're gonna let Kansu rock out.
Your lane there, Kyle. So okay, brother. I love you.
I'm glad y'all got that cleared up, though. That's
cleared up. That's a done daughter. Let me show you something real quick. Let me share my screen. Because Kansu ain't here to play games.
Hey, don't play no games. There ain't no game, please.
Wait, share the link. Drop the link. Invite whoever want to come on this panel to question Kansu. Please let them on. I don't give a damn who it is.
Let them on. What the link hit? I got to drop this motherfucker.
I don't give a damn who it is. Drop the link.
He on fire right now. You feeling yourself right now? Oh shit, Rasta man, where you at? You was talking shit, Rasta man. Rasta man, you was talking shit. Where you
at? Hey, while we waiting on for the
Rasta man, get on here, Rasta man.
To get somebody as an opponent. Yay, Kansu. You tell us about the time when the so-called Supreme Elder Wuduwa ran away from you.
Who?
Wuduwa. Little Lucifer.
Oh, Wuduwa.
Little Lucifer.
Wuduwa. I love Wuduwa's my brother. Wuduwa. I don't want. Me and Wuduwa, people say he won the debate we had on intelligent design versus evolution, intelligent design versus evolution. They say I lost that. But after I countered with a debate about Cleopatra, what was Cleopatra White, he ran from me. And he's been running.
No, which one he was saying? Was she white?
He's saying she was 100% Greek. But we know she wasn't because, first of all, they never found her mother's body. So they don't know what her mother was. But, so you can't say she was 100% what if you only know what one, if the daddy's black and the mama Chinese, but you don't know the mama, and you know what I mean? You can't say what it is. So he ran from that after I presented that evidence. And I gave away a little bit too much evidence pre-show. That's why I don't like to do that no more. I don't like to give away too much of my resources before debate. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll mess you up sometimes. People run or they'll use it against you, or, you know what I'm saying? When you're doing a pre-debate, don't give away too much information. And that's how Wuduwa got away from me. But this is bigger. Wuduwa is my brother. We talking about the real we talking about the real motherfuckers that's been running from Brother Kansu over the years. Now, let me show this.
Craig, how you go? Craig left.
Craig got to work. It's all right.
Yeah, he ain't work. Yeah, I was like, how can we deal with this?
Get that money in the morning myself.
I kind of came in on a late phrase, so just so I can understand, what is your position on Anunnaki, the Greys, and all that stuff? You believe?
Oh man, what is this you finna play for us? Is this a chicken? Is this a
that Brother Kansu?
Yeah, that Brother Kansu.
That's Brother Kansu and Baba Fashola from Oshobo,
Hey,
Nigeria.
brother Google, let us see this video first. I'm gonna let you in. I got to see this, brother.
We
This
about to skin
is
this
groundbreaking.
We about to skin this goddamn chicken and throw this motherfucker on the grill with some barbecue.
Right, that's a real sacrificial. Right. Okay, we got to watch it.
But no. That's not the video. But this is just the brother questioning me, Kaya questioning me on. I'm studying up on a legitimate Nigerian priest. Let's say that.
Yeah.
And these are just physical evidence of me going through certain rituals. I'm not initiated yet. I'm not a priest. I'm preparing to do this. And this is how I knew Kyle was full of shit. Because all the stuff that Kyle was saying wasn't adding up. And I'm studying this for real. I'm not just playing around with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm studying this for real.
Did you skin that chicken up, brother?
No, to be honest, that chicken was not even killed. That chicken, what happened was during that that particular ebo, which is the sacrifice, the feathers from certain, about 5 feathers plucked from that chicken. That was
okay.
The sacrifice. That chicken was not killed, but there are certain.
You return it back to his owner as it's still in your backyard, brother. What is?
but now, when it's a big festival. Oh yeah, we gonna slaughter that chicken, then we gonna throw that. I'm gonna throw it on the grill. I'm gonna put some jerk season on that bitch, and we gonna eat the hell out of it.
Yeah, that's what you supposed to do to that chicken.
Yeah, and that's how they do it in Africa. That's how they do it. It's when the sacrifices happen, it's fed to the tribe. It's not just people try to say it's demonic. They don't know anything about it.
Yeah. We ride it with that demonic stuff. Yeah.
Now let me show this real quick.
Okay, go ahead, because Google Scholar came in here. You called him out. Don't be trying to sneak run from him.
Google Scholar gonna get whooped. He ain't ready for me.
Yeah. That's Rasta Man.
Yeah, that's Brother Jabari. $700 scam right here. You can find this on his site, Shrine of Ma'at. And you can get scammed if you want for $700 or $4,000. He's got 2 courses where he will scam you out of money. Jabari El-Saze, I just wanted to throw that out. But now, here's the thing, though. When you get into the actual text, right? And when you get into the celestial origin of the ancient Egyptians, and I want to show that the ancient Egyptians themselves believed that they came from other planets, other star systems, and that's where they would return after they died. Can you see my screen? I'm sharing it. Can you see that?
We can see it, but like the picture, like the little picture part on Facebook is small.
Okay. You hear that?
Try Control Plus and see if it go bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, he trying to make us hear something. We hear it.
The one that's in.
Yeah, we ain't hearing nothing. If you want us to hear something, if you want to
hear that? Oh, it says share this tab instead. Okay, try this. You hear that?
Yeah, but it needs to be turned up a little more.
Got you. All right. Let me show you something. This is Garfield Reed, the Dagger Fraud, Amun Ra
Fraud. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't call them the squad. I call them the Dagger Fraud and the Amun Ra Frauds. They tried to contest me on the meaning of Sa, whether interpreted or translated as Orion, which leads into whether the fact that the Egyptians believed they came from and were returned to Sirius and Orion. And this is what they're trying to divert from. They're trying to divert from the fact that there is the celestial origin of the ancient Egyptians taught in their teachings, because they want to be whitewashed, Eurocentric Egyptologists and not accept the fact that the African race are that root seed of this planet, but we come from beyond this planet. Now, this is a clip. Believe it or not, brothers and sisters, this is from 2019. And this is how long these fools been running from Brother Khonsu. And this is why Kyle, as a descendant of the Amun-Ra and Dagger fraud squad, refuses all as well. They know what's going on. Let's play this real quick.
This is what Nuwapians do. We just don't be spitting out shit without kind of having something.
I want to hear what Nuwapians do.
That is what Nuwapians do.
That's Garfield. That's me and Garfield Reed. I was heated, as you can tell.
Because they have a leader that's no.
Nuwapians do know like hour.
To be honest,
The ones you know might not do it, but this is what I
to
do.
be
Bro.
honest,
I know Dr. York ain't teach you that. You took an hour.
You don't know nothing about Dr. York. He
hey,
teaches
hold
us
on, man, hold on.
fact or
I'm not
truth.
gonna talk to her like that. Listen,
Everything you say.
she's right. She watch y'all.
This
She know all y'all mannerisms.
the new wife.
Hey, calm down, bro. Bro, calm down, man. You're too hype.
See, this was really back in my rattlesnake days too. But still, nevertheless, this was nonsense how they continue to drag this on.
King in heaven utterances.
The ones that y'all see and the ones that
Let's get to it.
yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Mhm.
What line? What line?
It says
No, the line.
What line? What line, sir?
hold on, man. Be quiet right here. Wait a minute. Just had you made me look.
If you
Okay.
utterance.
17:16a. It said start at 17:15a. It says, it's now
Hold on, bro.
horoscope. It's now it's set speak.
All right, so this is what I was reading that they said didn't exist. Right here. This is what I was reading from that they said didn't exist. This is verse lines 7. Actually, you can start with 7. We'll start with 7:16b. It says, or 7:16a. It says, "Thou passest through Abydos in this thy dignity of spirit commanded by the gods." 7:17a. A ramp is trodden for thee to the duat, to the place where Sa is. Now, that right there is showing. Now, what was happening here was there was a contestation that started on Facebook between me and Sean. Then Garfield jumped in. Then Ump jumped in. And everybody else, they were way back in the day. And they tried to say Dr. York made that shit up about Sirius and Orion and the blah, 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 and all this. And there's nothing in the Egyptian text to prove that. This is from the pyramid text, family. From the pyramid text of Unis, one of the oldest texts in the world. And I found 6 different translations from Wallace Budge to Vargas to James P. Allen to others that translate this Sa as Orion, the star constellation of Orion. And in pyramid text, utterance 610, 717a, it says, "A ramp is trodden for thee to the duat, to the place where Sahu is. The ox of heaven seizeth thine arm. Thou nearest thyself with the food of gods." That is telling you that this is a physical place. And it's correlating this place with a physical star constellation. That's saying that the ancient Egyptians believed that there was life on other planets. Now you had the U.S. government saying that there's life on other planets or admitting all this stuff. But we know for years we've taught this, but people call us pseudo and all this, but they have never been able to defeat or challenge us on this information.
Okay. We got brother Google Scholar there. And ain't nobody been called y'all pseudo, and nobody been challenging y'all on here. That's a great segue for my brother Google Scholar to come in. You hit this panel, Google Scholar, like you got something to say. So say it, bro.
How y'all doing?
We doing fine. I'm doing fine today, brother.
I don't have too long because I'm gonna be in the car with somebody else. But let me, because I've never heard Konsu say something that's right and accurate. Really, maybe like twice. Because they say a broken clock is right twice. He just said the ancient Egyptians thought that they come from Sirius and Orion. So which one is it? Because they can't come from two places.
Oh man, you ready for me to answer that?
Wow. Yeah, after that, that was a direct question.
Let me answer this from the slow Jamaican right here. From this
bumble
clot ras clot here. Let me answer this.
If this is
just showed you. Hold on, let me answer your question. Silence yourself. I just showed you in the pyramid text.
I didn't ask you that.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me answer your question.
Answer the question that I asked.
I'm answering your question. How can they come from Sirius and Orion? Because in certain texts they talk about Sahu and or Septet, Sirius, and in certain texts they talk about Orion. Now, if you know about star constellations, you would know how those two places are connected. And if you know about the Egyptian text, which speaks of Sahu and Septet, you would know that Septet is connected to Aset and Sahu is connected to Asar. You don't know that because you're a Google scholar.
Hold on.
Because you're a Google scholar.
Hold on. You're just.
Okay, let him answer, brother Kasu. Calm down.
I know about star constellations. There's no connection between Sirius and Orion. You just made that up.
All right, I'll debate you on that. I'll debate you on it. You saying the same thing these fools said, and I just proved you wrong. So show some sources. Show some sources right now, Google Scholar.
Talk too much.
Google Scholar, show some sources. Show your sources, man.
More and talk less. Maybe you learn
something. Show your sources, man.
Hey, Craig, is this a kind of comedy hour? Why you
show your sources?
Hey. Go back in the corner. Go back in the corners, fellas. Mika, help me out. I need some help, Mika. Help me.
All I'm saying is these things, and what I show.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, can I get your attention, please? So what I'm gonna do
I thought I was supposed to address the.
Yeah. We're gonna let you address it. We gotta let them address it, cause don't cut them off.
Let me just let you guys know that from now on I will be timing you guys, and I'm gonna give you how many minutes, Craig? 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes. For Google Scholar, then he can reply in 2 minutes because we don't want to overtalk each other.
Yeah, so
we can be or something because I think we got something here. I knew Kanye was gonna be bougie and shit. I think,
right?
Yeah.
Let me say
he's smart. He's smart too.
What's his name again, Craig? The one at the top.
Kansu, Amarai.
Kansu, yeah. Give me a moment, please. So I'm gonna give Google Scholar 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to respond. Okay? Is that fair?
Yeah, man.
Okay, the time starts now for you. Now, Google Scholar, go.
Okay, so let me just say this. Let's go.
Oh man.
He just talks because he got a mouth. He said that the ancient Egyptians say they come from Orion and from Sirius, and he said that there's a connection. I'm waiting for him to show the connection between Sirius and Orion because there is none. The second thing is he boldly said he sat on here and said that linguistics is a more settled science than genetics. Now, I challenge him. I challenge him now. I challenge him next week to show one scholastic source that says that backs that up. That genetic. There are debates in scholastic circle as to whether linguistics is actually a science. Some scientists don't think linguistics is a science. So what he's talking again is he's just talking. I'll stop there and let him go.
Let me answer that right now. Bomba clot, ras clot. Let me answer that right now to this fake motherfucker Google Scholar. You challenge me, I challenge you. $500 American US dollars to this debate. What you say right now, let's go. Set up the debate. I will demolish you. Bomba, see, he leave. Bomba.
No, we don't do the money. We don't do the. Hey, hold on. No, because we don't do the money talk because.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, we'll do the money talk.
I challenge him.
Yeah. We'll do that one. Yeah.
Challenge.
And let me just say this, you guys, and I know we cuss, I cuss, we all cuss,
but
for the channels to get monetized, we gotta kind of like wheel back on a little bit of the cussing. So kind of like switch the words around a little bit, you know, say fudge instead of the F-U-C-K, you know, just so people can get, you know, if we're gonna be doing these debates and growing these channels and getting some bread out of it, we gotta like scale back on the cussing a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Even though I'm the worst person, and I gotta start how to be a leader on it because I cuss all day. It's just
me too. My granny told me when I was 3 years old, I cussed like a sailor. So you already know.
So I got to be a leader, and we gonna start trying to be a leader. And that's why I changed it for. Because I used to put the word. I used to always say the whole fucking show, right? I say the whole effing show. I'm getting better at that one. So yeah.
Let me say this.
Hey, go ahead, brother. It's your show.
This is a great show tonight.
Yes, it was.
For various reasons. The first reason, we was able to present information about the whole topic, the UFO conference. The second reason is we was able to get rid of a Bumbleclot Rasclot. Excuse me for my bad language. We was able to get rid of Bumbleclot Rasclot Kyle. If we get rid of him, boom. Nothing else to be said. Zip.
I think Rasta Man had to leave. He said he had limited time, so don't count your chickens for a hatch when it comes to Rasta Man. He's about their life. He's about their life. He's about their life. I'm on Google Scholar about their life.
Bumbleclot, Rasclot, Google Scholar.
Yeah.
He's Bumbleclot, Rasclot. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. And here's why. He is literally the same thing I encountered with Sean. Sean was so convinced.
Sean P. What is that? Sean I don't know how to.
In it, Harry.
Yeah, in the Harry.
Nickname. He's not a comedic. All these people are fake comedics. Jabari El-Saze, fake comedic. All these American shrines, fake. They're fake. Here's why they're fake. They're fake because they're not tied into a modern Western, Central, South, or Eastern African tradition for that matter. They're not tied into. They think that the ancient Egyptian, quote unquote, or Nubian civilization and spirituality and language died and stuff, which it did not phonetically, but it still exists in different dialects. But they think that it doesn't exist, so they created their own, like Jabari or Gaybari Hosaze, as I call him, has created his own Catholic version of Kemetic. He even calls Sunday communion, like communion from the Catholics, but with Kim as Kemet, communion. And they try to mix these stuff together. And All of these are frauds. And they're frauds because they're not tied into a living tradition now. Because there are living traditions now that are still living remnants of the ancient Egyptian and Nubian traditions of the past, of whom we claim to be remnants of.
Okay. Can I ask you a question right quick, brother?
Yeah.
So you said these traditions came from Kemet into, I guess, West Africa. Then they migrated to over here in the Americas, right? And they still living, so they could be a part of this living system, so they could get back to Kemet, basically, right? Are you putting it like that? I'm just asking.
Not necessarily Kemet.
Yeah, Kemet, but I
Not
know.
necessarily just
Yeah.
Kemet, because there was
Or our people, or our ancestry.
yeah, because we had
Yeah.
a civilization prior to Kemet, which was Khanit or Nubia.
Yeah, Nubia. Yep.
Yeah.
Facts.
Kush, and all this. But and even some scholars say that this originated in the Uganda, South Africa, or the Horn of Africa, Uganda, Kenya.
Yeah, Kenya. Yep. It came from the Kenya to Nubia.
And
Then
then went up,
Egypt.
then went where some went east, some went. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where the Great Migration.
Ancestry. Yeah, ancestry part, the homeland. You know what I'm saying? The homeland. Yeah, I get you. It is up in that. It's up in that northeast African area, like.
I say.
Yeah.
I say. And this is not a belief. This is just a historical fact, and that's all we deal with is the facts. And people want to amalgamate things and mix things and all this and have misconceptions, and it's one of the things that's made me get giving me the little name that I got and the reputation that I have, because I've been able to not just get on people's platform and talk a bunch of crap and and start a bunch of roo-rah. I'm able to act. I showed up. Listen, I don't do nothing without presenting receipts. I got receipts for every damn thing I say.
Oh man!
Because I'm an efficient and I'm a student. I'm a nerd on the low. All I think about is that when I wake up, this is all I think about. I got friends. We texting at 5 and 6 in the morning about research about E5 or do E5, Kemet, Nubia.
Hey man, hey, your shirt. Your shirt matched the background, bro. I just realized it.
Yeah.
You see that, Mika? You see that? Mika, where you at? You see that?
I see
you see your shirt match the background?
Yeah.
I say.
Let me ask you a question.
Hey, go ahead. Ask me a question. I guess.
How long have you been studying this stuff?
I was at the tender age, my sister, of 16 years old. I'm 37.
Okay. And do you have African descent in your blood?
My daddy is a Negro and my mama is a cracker.
Oh wow! Now, how would your mama feel if you called her that?
My mama knows that she's the only white person that I like.
Oh. Okay.
I'm also known as
Brother, white people.
I'm also known as Brother Consul, the racist mixed guy.
Okay. Well, I don't think you got nothing on Gorilla Hebrew because he be going in Gorilla Hebrew.
No, I don't like Gorilla Hebrew is a Puerto Rican, ain't
he? He has a same thing like you, a black father, or vice versa.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's just on the wrong side of the fence. Well, I mean, he'll be accepted by them because, see, I struggle to get accepted by them.
Now, you have a white mother, too, though.
My mama
a white mother and a black father.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way he could be a Hebrew Israelite according to them. I mean, according to the Hebrew.
Right, because they go by the father's lineage. The father has to be white. His father's white.
So, no, hold on. Oh, that's a good subject.
I'm sorry. His father is black. I'm sorry.
They go by the father's seed, but that's not really scriptural.
So do you believe, hold on, Kazu, do you believe that the male Y chromosome is a broken X? I mean,
yeah, I don't believe in it. I don't believe.
I mean, you know
I don't like
that.
that word, man. Believe.
No, yeah, you don't like that word.
That question like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe in belief. I don't accept.
Do you subscribe? I'm put it like that. Do you subscribe to
Y
it?
chromosome is a fact. You can look it up. I can share the screen. It contains 2.8% less genetic makeup than the X. It's genetically weaker than the X chromosome. That means that the X chromosome has existed longer than the Y chromosome.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is a whole nother.
Yeah. Do you believe the black woman is God, brother?
I don't believe anything.
I mean, my fault. Do you subscribe to the black woman? It's hard for me to get that up. I've been talking to Christians all yesterday, so I got the word belief. They killed me with beliefs.
Well, it's also a problem with the word God. The word God is a German word, and I don't pray to German deities. Do I believe that the woman is the supreme creator deity in the physical flesh? Yes. These are not just teachings of Brother Polite and people who who they think coined that term and all this, or Dr. York, even the master teacher, even in Ifa, in Odu Ifa, it says that after Olodumare, which Olodumare is the Yoruba word for the Most High, or Ra, or Yahweh, or Allah, it says after Olodumare is the woman, because she is the one that brings life from the heavenly celestial plane to the physical plane.
So you said she's not a supernatural being though.
Oh no, the woman is a physical being, but she's a physical god of the planet Earth, because she's the medium by which we go from being an spiritual or etheric being to a physical being. We have to come to
let me do the mitochondria do the mitochondria determine I'm gonna say the mitochondria of the female. Do it determine the sex of them, like a male or a female? Do you know that?
No, what determines the sex of a male or a female is the male.
Okay.
The male.
That's powerful though, right there. That means he got a lot of power. If it determines the sex.
Power, that's not the point. We're not. That's not what we're saying when we see. Let me explain. That's a good point. Good point. I had to correct it. Dr. Ma'at. You know who that is, right?
Oh man, you can't be going out all my heroes, man. Yeah, you been killing all my heroes.
Who has addressed each and every person you think you can think.
Yeah, you can't be killing all my heroes, man. Come on, cause this Dr. Mahat, man.
Oh yeah, I had to set the record straight on Dr. Mahat. She lied. And she missed some things that was said about Dr. York and Brother Polite. But anyway, the male gene is necessary to determine the sex. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, and what the book that she referred to, which was the Black Book Part 1, the Sacred Records of Atum Ray, what they're saying was that prior to our existence as Homo sapiens, prior to our evolution as Homo sapiens, it was an XX chromosome species, reptilian species that evolved from water to earth. This is now a confirmed scientific fact. Same way. Yeah.
How has this been confirmed, sir?
Man, we're going to have to do a video on it. I done did videos on it already, but I mean...
Who confirmed this?
Who confirmed it? Well, yes. I mean, it's okay. Well, you can start like this.
Help out, help out. She needs some help. Help out.
No. It's a good question. You have to start with the fact that there is scientific general consensus that all life evolved from the water.
That's a theory, right?
No, that's no longer a theory. That's a fact now.
Who said this is a fact?
Modern science, modern
Because I don't have
ecology.
no gills or nothing.
You had gills when you was in your mother's womb. That's how you breathe. Yes, in the water for 9 months. Yeah, you had
What
gills.
part was the gills?
They were behind your ears. Some people still have holes in their ears.
Uh-huh.
Those are remnants. Explain to me how you breathed in your mother's womb for 9 months if you didn't have some kind of gills.
I have no idea if we even breathed inside the womb.
I thought the umbilical cord. I thought the umbilical cord was breathing.
The umbilical cord feeds nutrients, not air.
I don't know. I ain't gonna eat
Well,
that.
I know that there's like a osmosis going on in there where the oxygen and the hydrogen is separated and made into air while the baby is breathing. That's how the baby breathes through the sac.
But in order for the lungs, which haven't even developed yet, the lungs of that fetus hadn't even developed. How's the baby getting oxygen?
Like Craig said, through the umbilical cord.
No, the umbilical. Just look it up. The umbilical cord ain't nothing got nothing. Ain't got.
Yeah, I ain't sure of that. I just throwing it out. No. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't studied on that. But it do.
That's a whole other topic. We
sperm do before it hit the egg.
We ain't talking about sperm.
Just like a little tadpole.
Let me share my screen.
Oh shit! Show your screen. Go ahead. Pull it up. Help him out. Help him out. She gonna help you out. She gonna help you out right quick.
I just asked Google. It's just a Google. It ain't no major stuff. But this is from Medline Plus. I asked how do babies breathe in the womb. Is you sharing my screen?
Yes, it's shared.
So it says the mother's placenta helps the baby breathe while it is growing in the womb. Oxygen and carbon dioxide flow through the blood in the placenta. Most of it goes to the heart and flows through the baby's body at birth. The baby lungs are filled with fluid. So the placenta is directly attached to the umbilical cord. Let me just find an image. Let's see.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But the key word is helps the baby breathe, not transfers air or oxygen to the baby, which has no lungs.
Right. It just said the oxygen.
Okay, so it can't be that.
It says, okay. So it says let me share this tab instead. So during labor and delivery, oxygen supplied to the fetus can be dangerously reduced or cut off entirely. Okay, this is now, but I just want to say, okay, so the oxygen in the environment, it goes from number one, the mother's lungs, the mother's heart, the mother's vasculature, uterus, placenta, to the umbilical cord, to the baby. So like Craig said, it goes through the umbilical cord. That is how all the nutrients go. So essentially, the baby.
Okay, let me ask you a question. At what stage during the fetus growth does the lungs develop?
Let's see.
And you don't have to know that, but
I don't have three kids. I used to know it, but that's not nothing I know anymore. I don't have 3 kids.
That's cool, but my point is, before the development of the lungs of this fetus or baby, that baby did not receive breath. So you can't say, so you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Plus, after that, then after the lungs develop of the baby, then you have to say, well, where did the air or the oxygen enter through the baby from the mother?
At the beginning.
Right. But I mean, what organ is responsible for that? And so the point I'm making is, once the umbilical cord is cut,
So this
The
goes
baby
back.
still maintains the ability to breathe oxygen once the umbilical cord is cut.
Okay, so then
That's why that's why they smack them on the ass so they can start breathing on their own.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know. I ain't know. I ain't never. I always thought it was the umbilical cord. I could have been wrong, but I just threw it out there for my limited. I never studied it, right?
Well, the
So
point
It's
that
like
we're
having
making is
on.
the only point I'm making is that human beings in their pre humanoid state, pre hominid state, before humanoids or Homo sapiens sapiens evolved into Homo sapiens sapiens, they went through a period of a reptilian or a reptilian onto a amphibian, because an amphibian is a species that can exist on what? Water and land. Humans can exist in water. The oxygen that we breathe is a rarefied concentration of water. It has water in the air, because if we breathe air with not enough water, we'll suffocate. So it proves that we existed once as reptilian beings.
Well, see,
That's all that
oxygen is comprised of O2, O2, right? That's the chemical compound of oxygen. And then you have hydrogen, which is also a gas like oxygen. And so when those two combine and make a chemical bond, then you have H2O, which is water. So yeah, we all breathe. I mean, at some point we all have hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and all that stuff in our body. And but that doesn't necessarily make us a water. I mean, like, it doesn't make
the
me
ability to breathe, it does.
bring it
The
off.
ability to exist in the environment does. The ability for the fact that you existed for 9 months in water, then lived out the rest of your life on land, proves that you are that you originate from a species that can exist on land and water.
Nah, go exist in water right now.
Okay. Hey,
Go exist
listen,
in water right now
hey,
without
hey,
no
I can
suit.
explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you.
So basically, if I go, then explain how we drown.
Look it up. Look it up. Look it
Hey,
up.
hey.
Sperm and the tadpole. This is the whole sperm and the tadpole story.
Nah, I just
hey, but I know what Brother Kasul is talking about. This whole evolutionary process, and but I don't fuck with the reptilian part, right? Like that. But yeah,
Okay.
I can rock out
Well,
with
let me ask you this then.
I can rock out with the fish part though.
Let me ask you this. If you say that human beings, Homo sapiens, do not have any reptilian ancestry, yeah, what you saying now, and that's contrary to modern science. Now,
I think you
hold on. Y'all are going against the grain. Y'all the one that's going pseudo now, because
this is pseudo to me. You're gonna have to show me documented proof studies. I mean,
she ain't falling for your bullshit. She ain't falling for your bullshit.
I'm about to show you what the top scholars say this. I'm gonna show you what the top scholars say that they have now found out.
No, we stuck on the reptilian. I want to hear the reptilian.
That's what I'm saying. That human
the reptilians
have a distinct reptilian ancestry. Yes, this is proof. Go listen. You can exist without water. You have to be submerged in water in some form or fashion. You have to have water. Number one. Number two.
Everybody made of water.
Number two. Listen. Your baby.
Lions got to drink water. All animals got to drink water, bro.
Babies are born how? Are they born in a shell like mammals? No, they're born soft like reptilians. in a soft form.
Technically,
Plants need water, fungus need water, animals need
the
water.
amniotic sac is a
Yeah.
shell, but okay. And
Yeah, but it's not hard. It's not a
but I'm
calcified
saying
shell.
even with the
It's
shells,
not a calcified shell. And
the
the birth
calcified
process
shells,
of
that's what
the birth
reptilians.
process of humans and of mammals is not the same.
Okay, so mammals do not deliver in a shell. That is the reptilians that deliver in a shell.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, I got it backwards.
Okay, and so you're saying that we're directly related to the reptilians,
Right.
but we're not in a shell.
Yeah, I said that backwards. What I meant was the shell what they call the amniotic fluid or the amniotic sac is a shell, but it's not calcified. It's not hard, but it is a shell. I said it totally backwards. That's what I meant to say. When you think about the birth process or the 9-month gestation period of the human being and what they go through in the process that they go through, when you look at the fetus of the 9-month process, you can see the transformation. You can see it look like a reptilian gray. I can show you the pictures right now. It look like a reptilian gray, big eyes, no hair on the body, gray skin, then evolves, start to develop the lung. That's what I was telling you, start to develop the lungs and all that. Now, when the baby comes out of a human, it's in a shell. It's just that sac is broken and it's not hard or calcified. In reptilian beings, the shell comes out hard or calcified. So what I'm telling you is modern. I'm not telling you nothing that's made up. I'm telling you something you can go look up right now. You just don't want to accept it.
No, I'm not gonna look it up. I want you to bring your receipts, like you said.
Okay, we'll set up a debate. I ain't gotta bring.
I'm not gonna debate with you. I will ask you questions, and you gotta answer them.
No, I ain't gotta answer right now. No,
Hey, hold on.
Right now, I ain't got.
Yeah. Hold on. We just doing the free things, but I have the great Dr. Decora himself, the new master teacher of this. You been talking evolution Katsu today. I had to go get Booty-Wah. I had to wake him up.
Bring my brother Booty-Wah on there.
Yeah, I had to wake him up. Booty-Wah Bagabi, aka Little Lucifer. Mika Wash, you know him as Little Lucifer. Here he come. Introduce him though, Mika.
This is the OG homeboy, so be respectful.
Be respectful. There you go, Booty-Wah. You in here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? How's everybody going? How's the audio?
Nah, it's trash.
It's trash.
Yeah, did you use the mic?
I use the mic, but it doesn't fit over my phone case.
Take your phone case off.
Oh wow. Well, give me about 5 minutes. I'll be back in a second.
Okay, you're gonna be back in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sister Mika, for helping Little Lucifer out.
That's the OG homie. So I don't know. You finna have what's your name? I can't never.
Let me show something real quick. Let me share my screen.
This Katsu. You need to learn some Kemet names around here. I'm tired of you and your Hebrew shit.
I speak English.
Yeah, you speak English. But you know all the Hebrew names. I bet you know all the Hebrew names.
English mixed with Spanish. English.
All right, here you go. You coming up. Teach us, brother. Teach them. They need some help. Teach them. School these, bro.
You see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Wikipedia. Sa was the father of the gods, which was a personification of modern Orion and Lepus constellations. You got that? Sa was frequently mentioned as the father of the gods in the Old Kingdom pyramid text. Pharaoh was thought to travel to Orion after his death. That's exactly what the text says. All right. So the brother of Psalm Hotep is gonna have to have, and we already know that Sean can explain this. But Asarm-Hotep is going to have to, okay, explain the difference if it's one between referring to and between translating as. Because there really is no difference. I don't think it is. Now, this is the connection that we're making here, right? The connection that we're making here is dealing with the obsession that the ancient Egyptians and Nubians, the Kemetiu, had with the stars. They had with the celestial. You see, hold on. Let me that is the point, because the same Sa, Orion, the constellation, right there. How can you go against that? Right there in your face. It's right here. I mean, it's plain as day. We've gone through so many sources right now already. This is something I wanted to read too. This is from Dr. Kaba Hiawatha Kamine Shabaka Stone, An African Theory on the Origin and Continuing Development of the Cosmic Universe. Man, this is some heat. This book is brand new. Shout out to the elder Kaba. He just put this out. And this is from page 121. And this is going to hit home, because for the first time now we have the Orthodox Kemetic community, and these are really opening up to this stuff now as more of this research comes out, and they're tying the connections between the ancient Egyptian creation and pre-creation cosmology stories, Shabaka Stone and stuff, Memphite theology, and finding the links between modern science and when they talk about panspermia and extraterrestrial existence. And this is page 121 of his book. He says, the chemistry of life may have begun shortly after the Big Bang, 12 to 13 billion years ago, during a habitable epoch when the universe was only 10 to 17 million years old. Though the presence of life is only confirmed on the Earth, extraterrestrial life is not only possible, but probable. I mean, that's heavy. Not only possible, but probable. So I just wanted to share that.
Craig, I think somebody asking for the link in the chat. I tried to give him the link, but mine ain't going through. Craig? Hello? Hello?
I stepped out for a second. Oh. Yeah.
Okay,
What you say?
I think that's Leandre and YouTube. He's asking for the link, and then
somebody want the link?
Yeah, and then oh boy, he popped off. I don't know what happened to him.
Okay. Come back in, Kasu. I'm gonna let the brother who asked for the link, you say?
It's in the YouTube chat, so
okay.
I tried to put it, but it ain't the right one or something.
All right, I got it.
Kasu, what happened? He dropped off.
Yeah, he dropped out. We go get brother Slip Reaper in here. I hope he beat Slip Reaper and not Leandre today. Let me make this announcement. I need Slim Reaper. There you go, brother. Slim Reaper. I'm summoning up Slim Reaper. Let me do my chicken voodoo ritual right now.
Let me play this video real quick to see how they respond to it, if you don't mind. Let me play this video real quick till you come in.
Okay.
It's relevant to the topic, so.
Yeah. We're gonna let you play the video. I'm gonna let Slim Reaper in. Not me, Andre.
Okay. All right, I'm sharing it now.
All right. Let me go on and pull it up. There you go.
Now, Father, do let that. So the Masonic community on the way back, and although it might seem like we're going to take you back, we're indeed taking you forward. Because as you go to the 6 o'clock point and begin to travel to the 9 o'clock point, you're indeed traveling forward, although it appears that you're traveling backwards. Before I get started, I'd like to send a couple shout outs. Shout out to one of my teachers, Ash Rod Crazy, for putting in this work. Now, Father, do let that. So the Masonic community on the Western Hemisphere and the European centristics of this thing, they lay claim to Solomon being the first Freemason and the father of Freemasonry. Solomon coming around 900 BC. Solomon supposedly received word from his daddy to do the construction of God's temple, and David got it from his God, right? To build a temple erected to his God. And supposedly he hired a master builder by the name of Hiram McBiff, the widow's son, right? To construct this temple. We have no evidence of this temple being built. Now, they give you a Wailing Wall, which was built by Herod, which is part of the second temple that Herod built. So they give you a goddamn wall where they go cry at, and they tell you, based off of this, Solomon was the first Freemason, because they have no more evidence. They don't even have Solomon's body or Hiram McBiff to prove their accusation. Now we go into the word masonry. The word masonry means stonework, right? That's inconclusive with land stone, carving stone, setting stone. Now, if masonry is stonework, then what was the Africans doing 5,000 years ago? 2,000 to 3,000 years before Solomon was even born, the Africans were cutting, carving, and laying stone. Say, well, how do you know that? Well, let's take them back, right? Let's take them back to a king named Chase Kimwa, right? In 2756, he built a wall called the Shoe Net in Abydos, Egypt, right? And we're going to show you pictures of that right now, right? And this goes back over 2,000 years before Solomon. And you tell me that Solomon was the first Freemason? So if we're going off the father of Freemasonry off a wall, hell, we can say Pharaoh Chase Kimwa was the father of Masonry. He was before Solomon, and Chase Kimwa's son was Dozer, who later on hired his master builder, Imhotep, who was the real Grand Master, right, to construct the Stepstone Pyramid. But if we're going off walls here, what would we call Chase Kimwa, right? Because he built a wall that's still there today. A being who lived to be 95 years old, who ruled over 20 years, right? Who is Dozer's father. So if Solomon built a wall, and that's what you going off calling him the father of Freemasonry, what should we call Chase Kimwa? They're different instruments used in masonry, right? Like the chisel and the mallet or the hammer, right? And we can take you back to the first dynasty, to the Pharaoh Narmer, also known as Menes, right? Back to 3013 BC, when this being had the chisel. Take a look at it. He had a chisel and he has the apron on. None of the crowd have his apron on. Damn near over at least 2,000 years before.
I can't take it. Yeah. He just mixing and matching, and I can't do it.
I was just saying something to get until everybody got on here. We're back.
Yeah. Kasu, I don't know. I think the big bad wolf came over here, and it probably was best for him to exit. But speaking of the big bad wolf, we have Slim Reaper over here, not Leandre. How you doing, brother?
What's going on? Hey, where did the UFO dude go?
Huh?
Where did the UFO dude go?
What did the what?
Where did the UFO dude go? Where he at?
I don't know. You soon you came up, he went off. I'm gonna hit him up. But rock out. I know you want to have a discussion with him. I thought he would have. While she played the video, he would have popped back up by now.
I just had a couple questions. I was in
He
the
wanted
middle
to
of,
ask some free questions. I know.
yeah, I was in the middle of like 15 other things, but you know, like at one point in time, he said, I don't know, something like an hour ago or so, he was talking about how he doesn't have any belief systems and no beliefs, and he only deals with facts and stuff like that. And
Yeah. He said he don't do beliefs. He said
yeah,
it's to know or not to know, nigga.
yeah,
No
yeah,
beliefs.
which is absolutely stupid thing to say, and again, it's why people got to stop just using words. So I was gonna ask him some questions about beliefs. I was gonna ask some questions related, you know, to the sort of thing that was the topic, like you know, like Officer Grush who testified, you know, because then he started reading stuff about probability. And you know, all of those things, of course, are related to the subject of belief. But you know, when you just on here talking, you don't know that. So you know, I was going to ask some questions related to those topics. Who getting the Facebook call?
Perry trying to call him now.
Yeah.
Well, Ron Eisen said, he said call him right now. And call him up.
Yeah, I'm calling him up. I'm trying to see what's up with
Craig is on the main line.
him. Yeah, I'm trying to call him. I want to get him back on here because I know you're gonna have some interesting questions to ask him. So yeah. When the big dogs come over here, all of a sudden he disappeared. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be a conspiracy theory coming out of my mind.
Listen, I told you, I'm 96 Jordan back here, okay? 96.
Yeah.
Is Mundua back on or no? How you pronounce it?
I
can see his thing up here.
Okay, who is this with the Mario thing?
Black Mario.
I'm moving to the account. Go ahead.
Give me a second.
You gotta turn off your YouTube, brother.
All right, 1 second, brother.
Okay, one thing got to be muted.
His brother got early 2000 Bluetooth technology going on because it's like I'm trying to figure this out.
Y'all some cutthroats on this show. Let me tell y'all. Wait, let me tell y'all how
to establish my audio.
And now that sounds 100% better.
Now, Mika, you know good and well it sounded like he was calling from a jail phone when he was on a while ago. Okay, now don't do this. Okay, I ain't.
Listen to him now and see. Say something, Mudwa. Little Lucy.
Little safe. Little Lucy.
Calling me cutthroat, and you over. Look what you doing, Mika. Listen, now, Mika, you calling me cutthroat. Look what you doing. Ain't right.
Mug. How you pronounce that shit?
Booty wild. You need to get your African. You need to get your African. You married to an African. You need to get your African together.
I know how to say ebeluche.
No, Mika, I don't know.
You messed it up.
I don't know. I be trying.
He be trying. Me too. I try too. We try.
How long you been cripping?
He be like, no, say it like this. I'm like, I thought that's how I was saying it.
So, Mika, how long you been cripping?
Huh?
How long you been cripping?
Yeah, with the blue hair.
My whole life.
That's what I'm talking about.
She a Cali girl. Are you a Cali girl too?
Mm-hmm. I grew up on both sides.
See, all these Cali, 3 Cali people. I'm the South nigga. I'm the South nigga. Yeah, damn. I feel out of place. Mm-hmm. One of these people don't belong.
How's my audio now?
It's good, brother.
Hey, peace to the panel, man. Peace to Ratchet Craig. Peace to the beloved sister Mika. Peace to Leandre.
Slim Reaper, brother. Slim Reaper.
Oh, all right. Peace to
Slim Reaper today.
Yeah, Slim Reaper.
Oh, my bad. Y'all probably
Leandre yesterday, brother.
We all about to get blown out of here by that hurricane coming through here. So
ain't no hurricane.
Oh, it's coming.
That was those flash flood warnings. Y'all should be getting them sometime soon up there, Leandre.
Yeah. I know. Listen, it's already raining like crazy up here. So look.
Yeah.
Hurricane. Listen, but you can call it hurricane, baby. But yeah, yeah, it's on the way because it just started raining like crazy up here. So
Right. So it's coming y'all way. It's moving up north. It's moving up north. It's not that bad, but y'all should. Nobody's got blackouts down here, and my little brother is down in the San Diego area. They didn't experience any blackouts either. So it should be. It should dissipate the further north you go. They say it's going to dissipate. But hopefully you and your family is safe and in good hands in this time. So
appreciate
but anyway,
it. Same to you and yours, brother.
Likewise, bro. Yeah, I'm listening to the bill and the brother Kansu. Where did he go? Did he fall off?
Now, hang on. Wait a minute. The person presenting, that was Kansu?
Yeah, that was Kansu.
Okay, wait a minute. Craig. Reggie Craig. Which Kansu is this? Is this Kansu from Chicago?
No, that's not Chicago Kansu.
Okay, because
that's Georgia Kansu.
All right, okay. Well, that's I wanted to clarify because I know sometimes people they have the same name.
Yeah, Georgia Chicago Kansu is a Mason.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same name, different brothers.
Okay, yeah, I know Chicago Kansu. He told me he was a vice lord with 2 PhDs. So.
We call him Nuwapi and Kasu.
Okay, well, where did he go? So I wanted to ask him about belief and knowledge.
Yeah, he fell off. So
yeah, we fell off. Yeah, we gonna give him a little time to come back on because I'm not satisfied unless he come back on. Charge your phone up, brother. I don't know if your phone not charged up or what. Charge it back up and get back on.
Brother Craig,
what's that?
Did you watch the brother the testimony before Congress?
Yes, I watched a little bit. I watched the highlights.
Okay. No. See, I didn't ask about the highlights. I want to know if you watched.
I watched the major parts.
Okay, so no.
Yeah. I didn't watch all 3 hours. I couldn't watch 3 hours of this.
I watched it in the entirety. I watched the entirety of the presentation. I definitely did. Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So Brother Craig, who put the thing in the description there? In 2023, United States Air Force officer and former intelligence officer David Grush was interviewed. Who put that in there? Is that you?
Yeah, I put that in there.
Okay. And so one of the things I thought was interesting, I was going to ask the brother about, but it's in the second sentence. Of whatever was copied and pasted. Grush claimed that he had conversations with unnamed officials that led him to believe that the U.S. federal government maintains a secretive UFO recovery program and is in possession of non-human spacecraft along with their dead pilots. And so it's an interesting thing to read on somebody and who's presenting on that and supposed to be decoding it, talking about they don't deal with belief. And then, and what we're discussing here is a person who this ain't his first time testifying, who has stated on repeated occasions that he ain't seen anything himself. He ain't read any reports. He's seen nothing physical, no aircraft, no bodies, because what he doesn't want is us to be held in contempt of Congress. He don't want to deal with the criminal charges related to that, to lying to Congress. And what he's saying is that he believes that there's this stuff that exists because other people told them what they saw. And so what I heard, and I clicked on just for a second, and I heard, well, I don't deal with beliefs, and I haven't watched the thing. I'm just curious. Well, what are we talking about here? How you decoding anything using someone's testimony who says, I ain't see it. I know somebody who say they saw it. And I believe if you ask them that what he said is a lot of them going to be hostile and going to say that they didn't see it anyway. So I was just confused. That's why.
He said that the ancient Sumerians, all these cultures see extraterrestrial beings, brother.
Yeah, and if you look at the Emerald tablets, they talk about that stuff too.
Yeah, that's why he said it's nothing new.
Yeah, except for the fact that again that all of this, because again you talk about believing versus knowing. That's why we was going to ask the question as to what constitutes knowledge. So I deal in obviously the subject of philosophy, right? So the one of the funniest things, again, it's a false sense of confidence. 95% of the time people are talking about what it is that they know. And there's several problems with what people think is knowledge. So one of the things, Brother Craig, that I told Brother Nobody had a problem with the way that y'all's questions were formed. Like when you asked on one of the questions, do you know 100% And you know that's like that's kind of goofy.
Yeah, I didn't ask that question. That was brother DMG. I tried to get him to change that question, but
Yeah.
nobody agreed with 100%. I don't know. I would try to get him to change.
Well, exactly. So and so that's one of the issues is that you know when you talk about like for example, and there's a philosopher who's written about the sort of things that constitute knowledge before, right? So you imagine that you live on top of a mountain, for example, right? Let's say I live in the Grapevine. We got some Cali people here. Let's say I live in the Grapevine, and I live on top of one of the mountains over there in the Grapevine. I'm near Magic Mountain or something, and there's a creek and stuff that runs from the top of the mountain all the way to the bottom. There's a basin at the very bottom. It rains. It rains like crazy. Let's say it drops 14 inches of rain. If I'm sitting up at the top of the mountain, can I say that I know for a fact with 100% certainty that after the rainfall that there's going to be water at the basin, at the base of the mountain down there? Can I say I know that with 100% certainty? The actual answer, we might be tempted to say yeah, but can I say with 100% certainty? Well, the answer is no. What if all the water washed up in there and went down that creek, went to the base of the mountain, but there's also a gigantic hole at the bottom or a drain, and it drains into the ocean? But it would still be reasonable to say that we know, given the amount of rain and stuff that poured down, and the fact that we have no knowledge of any such drain at the bottom. And so there's different degrees of knowledge. We could even go down further and say, well, can I say that I know because 2 days ago it rained, or let's say a week ago it rained, or let's say, can I know that there's water in the ocean without me ever seeing it? And those things still constitute knowledge from a philosophical standpoint, from a logical standpoint, without needing to be 100% certain. And so anybody who says, I don't have any beliefs, right? And I know they try to draw this sort of dichotomy between those two things. There's a problem there. There's also another problem because not understanding what it means to believe something is to have some sort of justified. It's a justified view of something, and so you can have true beliefs and false beliefs. But to say that you know something is just to say that you have a justified true belief. But again, I know most people aren't thinking in these terms, but that's why I wanted to talk to him about the level of confidence he has, talking about he doesn't have any beliefs. And again, even stuff like that is just kind of silly. He can't know for certain that everybody didn't come together at one point in time and lie about, what took place. One, ain't nobody talking about extraterrestrials in any of those texts, but he can't know with 100% certainty that, that everybody just didn't make something up.
Nah. He went into the E5. He said it was scientific. It wasn't no belief system or religion, right? The E5, for example. And he said it was a scientific system with binary codes and all this, right?
Yeah.
And
binaries with zeros and ones.
Yeah, I guess zeros and ones.
Right? Yeah. Because when you talk about binary code, like in a sort of computer system, is one. Is thinking that they was thinking in something binary, but also two, even with the subject of numbers, right? You talk about binary code and stuff like that, right? Philosophers readily understand that you have to appeal to something called mathematical realism if you're going to even say that something like numbers exist, because you only see expressions of numbers. You never see any material number that has ever presented itself. You have expressions of numbers. But again, that's just philosophy of science. So but again, the point is that when somebody gets to talking about, I don't believe I know. I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know.
You don't know what you're talking about. I know.
Isn't and this is just from a philosophical standpoint. Shouldn't every beliefs, or excuse me, not shouldn't. Do you agree or do you disagree that every belief system has a degree of possibility versus probability? And some beliefs are less possible, or excuse me, are less probable than they are possible.
Yeah. So to the first question, I would say that was improperly classified. But I think to your second question, that second question is correct. There is definitely degrees of probability for each particular claim or proposition. When you're dealing with something that's inductive, right? And so, and this is the thing, when you're dealing with something inductive, right? Like the example that I gave, living on top of a mountain, watching water pour down, going to a creek where flows into, a basin at the very bottom of the thing. Well, that is an inductive argument. And one of the problems, and this is one of the things that I was talking about when talking about you and Brother Sean Ski, for example, is that what some people do is they deductivize induction, and it's a logical issue. So most of the things that we're going to deal with, they're going to be inductive. It's going to be more likely true than not, or less likely true than not. And so it's either going to be valid or invalid. Well, they're all going to be invalid because they're inductive, but they could still be true or false. And so even if there's something that's 99.9999999% likely, that's still not a deductive. There's still not a deductive conclusion that you can draw. So when people talk about even science, right, which deals sometimes with deductive and sometimes and mostly with inductive reasoning, however, you're never going to have any 100. You're not really going to have any 100% certainty there. You're going to have a likely conclusion, and that's only if the particular premises are true. Do the conclusions likely follow? You have another problem
That's
if one
proper
of the conclusions.
science.
I'm sorry.
That's proper science.
What's proper science?
Proper science is not 100%. You can take your son or excuse me, you and your son or you and your daughter can take a DNA test tomorrow and it'll say 99.9% probability. The science for a reason leaves a margin for error. But the only thing that speaks unequivocally, the only thing that says in totality, the only thing that speaks in absolutes is religion. No other field speaks in absolutes.
So that's not true because it's what the entire field of logic is, and the School of Philosophical Sciences are above in every way. The modern empirical sciences above in every way. There are two particular means. For example, as a matter of fact, like modern empirical sciences don't really deal with proofs; they deal with evidence. The School of Philosophical Sciences deal with actual proofs. And so for example, mathematics deals in absolutes. And so when you say that no other field deals in absolutes, that's not true. And then you say, well, only religion. That's just false. That's just utterly false. And it's what I was getting at when I talked about deductive logic. Deductive logic deals in absolutes. If my premises are true, then my conclusion has to follow. Absolutely. It has to follow deductively. There is no way.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think there is a difference between truth and fact? And if so, or if not, elaborate.
Okay, so when you talk about truth and fact, when you say difference, I guess I don't know what you mean by difference. So when you're talking about some fact, you're talking about something that is itself true. So whatever it is particularly, whatever is particular to that fact, that thing is going to be true and it's going to be correspondent. So if I make some appeal, right, then I'm going to use that fact to establish something in a correspondent fashion. So I don't see any real difference in that. I think that except for the fact that facts can be used to lead to a particular truth, but those two things are going to be on the same side.
Okay,
can I expand on that? Because I think they're different. I think that truth is based on a person's perception and experience.
Absolutely.
I think that fact is something that can be measured and done over and over again and have the same outcome.
Okay, yeah. So both of those are incorrect, completely incorrect for a number of reasons. One of the internal contradictions is that when you make that sort of statement, you're trying to make an appeal to something that you're saying is true. So when you talk about what you all just described is pragmatism, but it's not like it's either true or false. It either is or it is not. It's not the case that water is H2O. That's when I make that statement.
You're right. You're right. Water is H2O. Water is H2O. Now, is the water cold or is the water hot? That's a matter. Hold on, brother. Hold on. That's a subjective truth. That's the person that's observing the phenomenon and giving their interpretation of the phenomenon. So hold on. You can observe a thing and that be your truth, but it does not change the facts of the thing. Let me give you an example. And this is the example I like to give. Okay, the example that I give to people all the time is the black woman is the most beautiful woman in the world. That's my truth. To someone else, that's not their truth, but that's a fact to me. That's my opinion, and I can stand on that. I can die on that. I can live with that. But that does not make that factual to everyone else. Do you understand what
I'm
I'm
sorry.
saying, brother?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, that's wholly incorrect. In your example, you should have went with one that had to do with flavor, something that's actual perceptual, not something that's like cold and heat. For example, cold is the absence of heat, and so you can have degrees of cold or even degrees of heat. But like if I said something was negative 2 million degrees Celsius, that is not a matter of opinion that's cold. It is the absence of heat, and so these things have like an actuality. So heat is something. An absence of heat
when does a thing stop being cold?
I'm sorry?
When does a thing stop being cold?
With the presence of heat.
Okay, so let me stop you right there because sometimes when a person experiences frostbite,
I
they
was
feel
still in the
heat.
middle of trying to explain
But let
something.
me
He jumped
let me
in.
let me just expound on this truth because I'm never wrong, right? And so when you say I'm absolutely wrong, I gotta come back at you because I'm never wrong. I don't talk about nothing I don't know, and I always ask questions about things that I don't know. So, truth, right? And this is just an example, right? So, say for instance, we're watching a fact happen. We're watching an apple fall down from a tree, right? That's
Are we watching an apple fall
saw,
down from a tree?
I mean, fall from a tree. Sorry, not
Are we
down.
watching that happen?
Huh?
Are we watching that happen?
Let her build,
Why
bro.
are we watching it happen?
Brother, you jumped in, cut me off. I'm asking the question for rhetorical purposes. Let me ask the sister a question. She don't need your defense. I ain't being rude or nothing. She know what I'm doing.
What did you ask me? I didn't get to hear you.
I said, are we watching it?
Exactly. So when that's exactly my point. So it'll be a perception. So say for instance, you have witnesses like little Lucifer was saying, truth is based off observation. Right, we can observe and be in the same space, observing the same thing, and come out with different perceptions of what we saw. But the fact is, the apple fell down from the tree. Now, was the apple red? The apple was red to me. That's my truth. He might say the apple was burgundy. You get what I'm saying? That's his truth.
Yeah, but one of the things is that what you just described is perspectivism, and that doesn't do anything to the subject of truth.
Okay, and so then you could go and look the definitions up, and you could look it up as
I
far
know the
as.
definition of all these words.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
but then you know
Yeah.
that what I'm saying is a fact. That
Well,
truth is perception, but truth can have a fact within it. A truth can have a fact within it, but a truth is not a fact.
well, no, that again, that's incorrect. Because if what we're going to say is, and again, because when we're talking about truth, okay, what you can't describe pragmatism and then use correspondence truth. And again, and a large part of this is just because I don't maybe there's an issue with the terminology here, but you can't say that we're all watching a tree, an apple fall from a tree. If I was observing several people observing an apple fall from a tree, it's either true or false that that y'all were watching an apple fall from a tree. I'm sorry, but Googling answers it really it's not going to be remotely helpful.
That's not a.
I'm still in the middle of speaking. Still in the middle of speaking.
I'm
So,
the Google scholar. Somebody say Google.
What's up, Big Google? How you doing, brother?
How y'all doing?
Hey, let the brother Slim Reaper finish up. Google Scholar, you going next. You going
No, I
next.
was just being silly. You can go ahead and finish.
Yeah.
yeah. So here's the thing. Any statement that I make when I'm making a claim about reality, and when I'm talking about having observed something, the statement that comes out of my mouth is either going to correspond with what took place in reality, or it is not. And if it corresponds to reality, then what I'm saying is true. That's called correspondence truth. The sort of pragmatic thing is something completely separate, and these two things are incompatible. And I mean, like they're logically incompatible. And what you all are doing is saying one, describing the other, and trying to say, and so this is pragmatic truth because it's true to me. This is different from perspectivism. I might hold up a cup, and there's 6 people sitting at 6 different angles in the room, and every person is going to describe a different shape. Every one of those shapes that the person describes is going to be true because it's true from their perspective. However, it means that what we're looking at is actually all of those shapes, depending on where you're sitting. It doesn't mean it because there's no internal contradiction. But you cannot have a world where I say that it's one thing, where I say that something is that I'm holding a cup and I say that the cup is black, and another person says that the cup is not black. Those two things are logically incompatible, and you cannot have any sort of world where contradictions don't exist. And if you're going to say that that is the case, that they do, then nobody can object to a single thing I'm saying logically.
Now, from a logical perspective, let's imagine that my POV of the cup shows all white. Your POV of the cup shows all black. Both of us have different perceptions of the same inanimate object. So both of our POVs would be right. Both of our POVs would be truthful, but it would not make both of our POVs factual about the totality of the thing that we're talking about, brother.
Okay, yeah, but that's a completely different subject, though. That's completely different topic.
Must not, because the fact would be
No,
there is
it
a cup.
100% is a completely different subject, because what I was talking about is that you cannot have people making competing truth claims, where those truth claims necessarily entail the negation of the others. So the example I gave, he didn't touch, where I said you can't have me saying that the cup is black and another person says the cup is not black. Though it is a necessary contradiction, you cannot have it. I can put up a square of opposition, a logical square of opposition right here on the screen, and y'all are free to explain your perspective using it. But it's not going to work. You could have a one person say, hey, a man came down here and robbed me, and the other person say two people came down here, robbed the lady. Maybe the lady didn't see the second dude robbing her, but both of those perspectives can be true without any internal contradiction whatsoever. What I'm saying is that you cannot have it to where and again, this is just one of the problems with relativism, because again, what you guys describing was pragmatism and relativism. It necessarily entails the contradiction of its own position. You can't have that.
Okay. Can I talk right quick?
Go ahead,
brother. Google Scholar, you in the house. You go ahead and say something, brother. I know you've been patiently waiting. What you got to say about this conversation? Okay, hold on, Mika. Hold on. I'm trying to
I'm listening. It's an interesting conversation, but I have certain thoughts about the whole idea of truth and facts. I don't
in a
know.
half mile, keep left at the fork. Follow signs for New Jersey
right
Free
about
East.
it, but I think truth and facts are pretty much the same thing. That's how I look at it. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's how I see it. Now, you tell me if you
Keep
think
left at the fork.
Truth and facts are different things.
What about proof? What about proof and facts? Do you think that's the same thing?
Continue on New Jersey Free East
saying.
for
I
2
believe
miles.
it's the same
Proof.
thing. Proof? No. Proof is different.
Yeah, proof is different from facts. Okay.
Yeah.
But truth, you said it. Yeah, it's
somebody
similar.
said.
Okay.
Somebody once said the truth is what the facts are, and I hold to that.
But people see two different. Hello. If people see, because everybody always say my truth, their truth,
In 2 miles, use the right
and
2
the
lanes to
truth,
keep
right?
for Port US 1, US
And
1.
I think truth is more perspective on how you see things. Let's be personal.
Versus the facts.
I think you're talking about what you perceive to be the truth versus what the actual truth is.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Google.
That's what I'm saying. It's perception based. Me personally, that's what I think.
Truth is a matter.
I might be wrong.
Truth is a matter of perception. The facts remain the same.
Yeah. Your perception might be all facts. We don't know, right?
Wait, Mudawa, is that statement true?
It's a fact.
That statement
no, I'm asking Mudawa, is the statement true?
That statement is a fact.
Okay, listen. According to whom? It's not a fact. How is it a fact? Is it an artifact I can hold in my hand? Physical?
A truth. You asked me a question. Let me elaborate, brother.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, a truth. Anyone can hold on to a truth, and I'm trying dearly not to go into the spiritual realm with this thing. I'm trying to keep it as secular as possible. When we're talking about something that people hold dearly as a truth, it can be a wholehearted truth to the individual or to the people group or to anybody. They can ride with it for the rest of their life, but that does not make it factual. You can
In a half
have
mile, use the right 2 lanes to take the exit toward US 1, US 9.
My bad.
you can no sweat, brother. You live in life, brother. You got to do your thing. You can
Just mute
have
your
a
mic while you're driving.
you can have a truth that you held dearly from a child to they close the casket on you, and that's your truth. And millions of other individuals can hold that same truth. Does that truth make it factual? No, it does not, brother.
Hold on. Could I?
Hang on.
Hold on, right quick.
Is any of what you said just true?
Yeah. Hold on, Leandre. I'm just gonna say this on the stand. When you better get on the stand, they said to tell the truth and the whole truth, right? They don't say tell the facts.
The
Facts.
They say, what is your POV? What was your POV of the situation? That's all
Okay,
they're
why are
asking.
y'all talking to
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Any lawyers or law students up here?
No.
Except you. You probably the only one. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so why we get into the realm of law and what they say?
I'm just saying we know what they say, brother.
No, y'all don't know what they say.
They say I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, right?
That's a testimony, right? And this is a person, when you have a witness,
Yeah, you telling your perception of the truth.
Perception, the
No,
truth,
you're not
and
telling
be
your
honest.
perception of the. No, you will go to jail for saying something. You will go to jail for saying something that is not corresponding to reality. There's no
you will
court
go
of
to
law.
jail for
Yes, you'll go to jail for perjury.
lying.
No,
you'll
yes,
go to jail for perjury. You'll go
yes,
to jail
you go to jail for
that.
perjury because
But
what
if you're
said,
telling a truth,
Mika, your legal expertise is what?
Okay, we're
I
not.
don't think you should diminish her. I don't think you should.
No, I'm asking what her legal expertise is. Like if
I've
she
beat
came
3
over and tried to
cases on my
diagnose,
own, sir, and I do
if she
read
came
a
over
lot
and tried
of
to
legal
diagnose,
things.
if she came over and tried to diagnose my grandmother with terminal cancer, I would ask if she's a doctor. When she's speaking to what happens in the court of law, I'm the only one up here who has any sort of legal expertise. It's just
like
me.
I said,
I am
you can go to
explaining
jail for perjury.
I'm explaining. Listen, there is an actual foundation. There's an actual foundation of the laws of this country. Correspondence truth is the underlying principle. It is the underlying principle in legal theory, meaning that what you say have to correspond to reality. They do not practice pragmatism in a court of law. I cannot get up there and say I saw a purple elephant shoot the defendant. I cannot say that the person who I did see shoot the defendant didn't shoot the defendant and say this is my truth. You go to jail for that. There's an actual foundation to the legal system that we have. They do not tell you to get up there and tell your truth. Nobody says that. What you say has to correspond to reality. What they're going to do is they're going to present all sorts of evidence, a criteriological issue. And if you say something that then doesn't match with what they bring out, they're going to say, you can get ready and put on your jumpsuit because it is correspondent, not pragmatic.
And that's why I say the truth is what the facts are. Because you're saying truth or they're saying truth, but really there's still it's the same as saying the facts. So I don't see a difference.
First of all, ain't nobody finna go on no stage talking about they seen a purple elephant. Secondly, that's just far-fetched and that's a fallacy. When a person is a witness to a crime, they're gonna tell from their view, their perception of what they saw or what they thought they saw.
Yeah.
And that is how it's going. Now, the evidence is the
Mika,
fact.
what's witness impeachment?
Excuse
The
me?
evidence, yeah.
What is witness impeachment?
Yeah, but if I say that I see you, Leandre, and I describe you, they're not gonna lock me up for lying.
Craig,
They're not gonna lock me up for lying. That's what I thought I seen. I'm telling the truth. I seen you, but you wasn't there. You got an alibi to get it out, and that's what I thought I seen.
And you're going to be listen. And when they find out, truthfully, according to truth, that I was not there, that statement doesn't correspond to reality, you're going to jail. Trump's attorney.
I'm not going to jail because that's what I thought I seen. I thought I seen you there. Like people do that all the time.
Brother Leandre,
all right, listen. I tell you what, Mika. What's witness impeachment? What's witness impeachment?
Let's have a little. Just based
That's
it off
when
what
they
brother,
inject the witness. The witness is
what
not
brother
credible,
Craig
and they
just
get rid
said.
of the
No,
witness.
hang on. What do you mean not credible?
What brother Craig just said. What
Not
brother
credible
Craig just
means
said
they
was
don't. They're found
give
to
me a second,
be.
you guys. Give me 1 second. What brother
Google
Craig
Scholar,
just
can you
said.
please answer my question?
What? Okay, I
Not
will in
credible
1
means
second,
they're
brother.
found to be somebody who's basically making stuff up. They're not telling
Exactly.
the truth.
So
they're
if
not
they say
telling
something,
the truth.
so if they say something that does not correspond to reality, that means that the statement is not true.
It's not factual.
They're not being honest. There's
It's
a
not
difference
factual.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
not that it's not factual.
It's
It's
the
that you're
same
not
thing.
telling the truth.
I really thought I seen Leandre though. I really thought I seen him do that.
Share my screen.
I really thought I seen him do that. And nobody can tell me I didn't see him.
There's very
people
seldom.
can hallucinate and stuff. So it's not necessarily
not
that you're
even- we're not-
lying, but you're either gonna be found to be a liar or you're gonna be found to be crazy,
incompetent, or might have a mental disorder. Share my screen, Craig, while we.
Or you can just be wrong. You can just be flat out wrong. You can be just flat out. You can be flat out fucking.
No, hang on.
wrong.
You cannot be wrong. Remember,
Listen,
it's
to what
all.
I'm saying.
You can't be
May I
wrong
finish?
because
May I
it's
finish?
true from your perspective. You can't be
Let
wrong.
me finish. Please let me finish. Your truth, in light of the facts, can make your truth non-valid. Your truth. I can see someone. I'm just hypothetically speaking. White guy, blonde hair, 6 foot tall, wearing all black, walks into a place and it does the open shooter shit, whatever they call it, does the open shooter shit, and 30 seconds later, 45 seconds later, I see a white guy running out of that same facility, all black on, jumps into a 4-door black sedan and drive away. My truth is that person that came running out is the person that went in there and did the shooting. That's my truth. Now, when they come to find out that person was just someone fleeing the incident, and the person that actually did the shooting escaped through the back door, what happened? My truth becomes invalid because of what? The facts.
And can I say something real quick?
Yeah, but it sounds like you're saying. It sounds like what you're saying is your truth, or your truth in that case is just what you believe to be the truth, but it's not the actual truth.
Absolutely,
it's not absolute.
Yeah, but no,
Google
we're
Scholar
not dealing with absolutes. But that's why I'm saying that it's not the actual truth. The actual truth are the facts.
No,
right.
There's a difference between facts and truth, because the fact was.
No, you keep saying
the
that.
truth was his truth was.
You're not demonstrating that.
The truth was he was being honest. He saw what he saw. This is what he saw. That is true. The fact was
It's true that he was being honest, or it's true what he said.
It's true he was being honest.
Is it true what he said? Because we're asking about the things that came out of his mouth.
It's true what he said, because
true?
he was being honest.
No, it can't be true if it's not.
Mika,
listen
to the question.
Somebody, hold on, let me talk. You asked me a question, let me talk. See, I know I'm the only woman on this panel, but please, can I have some respect, though?
You know good what I'm saying. Nothing to do with your gender. Don't do that.
Well, y'all keep talking over me every time I talk.
We talking over each other. We treating you like one of the fellas.
No, you're not. Don't start, because I really like you, Leandre, but don't get on my bad side, sir. We just having a little dialogue.
Then just answer the question.
All right. So now, it's true that this is what he saw. However, the fact was the shooter really went out the back. You get what I'm saying? And then to answer your question about my legal expertise, I have been in 3 cases, 2 criminal cases and 1. No, I take that back. 4 and 2 civil cases on my own.
As an expert?
I might as well be. I thought about going to law school. I did. I'd have studied legal books. I have
Well, I'm
studied a
asking,
lot.
are you an expert?
I'm an expert, and then not an expert. No, I'm not an expert because I do not have a law degree, but I do
Okay.
have some information when it comes to that. And
Okay.
then I do have a business degree, and I had to learn about business law, so I know
Okay. So
business law
Mika,
like the back of my hand.
Mika, I do have a degree in law. And so when I'm telling you
Excuse me?
that the court and it's in the foundations of law, that's what it's in. So when I'm telling you that, so when y'all saying that they tell you to tell your truth, no, you will go to jail if your truth does not correspond to reality.
They're not going to say your truth. They're going to say
exactly. They don't say your
this
truth.
the truth because
exactly.
they already know what truth means in legal
yes,
in
because
legal aid.
Truth is an objective, absolute thing. So you cannot get up there and say something that does not correspond to reality. The statements come out of your mouth.
Why are you saying reality? Say facts, brother. Say
no, because
your truth doesn't correspond to the facts. Your truth is bullshit.
No. I'm saying reality because that's what correspondence. That's what
the
correspondence.
The facts are reality.
Reality. That's not reality.
I have no problem with that statement. That statement is okay. The truth
reality
or the
is
facts is
perception
what
as well.
corresponds.
Yeah, reality is perception as well. I agree with
I
you.
know that as a fact.
Is that a true statement that reality is perception? Is that a true statement?
Reality is perception because my son, who's dealing
is reality
with
not okay? Watch this. Reality is not perception. What do you say?
Reality is perception. You cannot tell
then
me that
you are making a truth claim. So when I just told you just now, you just contradicted the entire point of what you're saying. Because when I came in and said reality is not perception, you came back and said it is. You are making a truth claim, telling me that what I'm saying, that you're telling me I do not get to make an opposite claim, and that's what I'm telling you. The internal contradiction is. And I don't think anyone's picking up on this.
Yeah, I think I see the problem.
Hey, Mika, hello, Mika. Is you the kid to this Byron Wash guy?
No, he trying to steal my name.
He not steal your last name. Good stealing, Byron. You stealing, Byron, last name. He might be older than you, though. He might be older than you. I don't know, but good stealing her last name.
I think the issue is we're confusing the perception of reality with actual reality. That's two different things. The perception of reality is not actual reality.
Hold on, you cannot say that, especially when people. Hold on, let me talk, please, for a second, okay? Because it's like a race to be heard. I understand. So when a person is dealing with schizophrenia or whatever, and they hear and see things, that shit is real to them. That shit is their reality. So if they hear and see things and they dealing with, don't laugh about that. That's not funny. Because I know a lot of people that's battling that, and their lives is just like torn behind it. So
why are their lives torn, Mika?
Because they cannot escape that reality.
Are they experiencing something? Is it real? It's like, so when I see the dude bugging out on the corner, talking to the sky, or licking a light pole, calling it his wife, that's actually happening in reality, right?
I don't know about no schizophrenia doing that, but I know that they hear.
I know about schizophrenics who do it.
I never seen one do that, but I know that people that do drugs and stuff like that would do stuff like that when they're on PCP and hallucinative drugs.
Yeah, and that's because it's affecting their psyche. But my question still stands: whether they're on drugs or not, that person is still having some experience. Is that experience?
They're having an experience now.
In reality. In
their reality, because guess what?
Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia. I mean, I don't know what you mean by drugs, though.
Are you gonna let me answer the question or what?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man. My fault.
So a person's reality, right? We don't know what's on the different planes of these different realities that could possibly exist. Everybody, we have a physical reality, what we see and hear, and then when we go to sleep and we dream, is that not a reality? Because we actually have an experience when we go to sleep and dream, but we're not in the physical form. So who's to say that they're not actually having a real experience in a different form?
Okay, so Mika, let me give you an example. Let me say this. So You're grocery shopping in the store. There's some man who walks up to you, kisses you dead on the mouth. He says to you that you are his wife. Now, you might already have a man, might be married. You married right now, Mika?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And so this dude is not your husband. He walks, kiss you dead in the mouth. Hey, how you doing, wifey? See you at home at 6.
That would never happen, but okay.
No, it can happen. It happens to people all the time.
Happen.
Well, yeah. Well, you might fire on him, but this is for the sake of argument. That person right there believes, in his mind, according to his perspective, his perception, that you are his wife, and so it is true, right? That you are his wife.
True. That's cool. How he feels.
So is it equally true? Is it equally true that you are his wife, as well as you are that you are not his wife?
It is not true for me. No, I'm not his wife. However,
no, I'm asking if you two listen. If regardless, is his position on it equal to yours?
No.
Why?
Because that's his truth. That's his perception. That's his reality.
I'm asking. I'm a third-party judge. Should I judge his perspective and his perception that you are his wife equal to yours, where you say you are not his wife, you have another husband?
Yes, I would say that.
How is that equal?
How are they equal?
What do you say?
One is based in facts, the other is based in someone's truth. Come on, man, stop playing games.
How are they equal, though? They're not equal.
You asked me a question. I never said it was equal. I said that.
I asked if it was equal.
I said no to that question.
Why? Tell me why.
Why it's not equal? Because that's his truth. That's his perception. That's
why
his
is it
reality.
not equal to me, a third-party judge?
Mitigating facts is the reason why it's.
I don't know why he's answering.
Okay,
he's off topic.
So he will have to supply a marriage certificate, right?
Wait, Mika, are you trying to tell me that what the things this brother says needs to correspond to reality?
No, it needs to correspond to facts.
Thank
you.
So
to the things that exist in reality. So he needs to produce something real time.
To correspond with the facts and the evidence presented.
Right. That's reality. So he needs to produce something in reality in the world to a third-party judge to say, hey, this is what it really is over here. And then if that person doesn't have those things that corresponds to reality, I can dismiss that person as insane.
You can't dismiss.
But that's called physical evidence.
No. It don't always have to be.
You do the empiricism at this. What if Mika told him we are married?
Craig, back off the mic.
What if she told him we are married in secrecy?
It doesn't have to be physical.
Yeah, in secrecy. Yeah, we are married. We are together. And then they get in front of the judge. He gonna tell them that it's not true. Mika told them that.
Need to be empirical. You can say things that involve an internal contradiction, and that's not remotely empirical. That's just reason and logic, which again is higher than the empirical sciences. So it doesn't need to be that. But even
no. Did you hear what I was just saying, though, brother DeAndre? I said, what if Mika, to make this more interesting, what if Mika did tell him we are married?
Craig, step back from the mic a little bit.
We could have been married in another lifetime.
I'm just saying what. Yeah, what if she told him that that's reality in their world, right? We are married. And then you go in front of the judge, and she said, "Nah, she denied it." How can you prove that she's not telling the truth, but she told him that?
He has to prove it with a marriage certificate.
Yeah, with a marriage certificate, but you told him that. That's a factual evidence.
Evidence.
Yeah.
See, again, all that is saying, this is a long way that people who don't know what the terms mean is going about saying that what is being stated has to correspond to reality. You're going to need something in reality, real time, to say that this thing right here is objective. His statement is correspondingly true to the things that we can present. And so whatever you call it, I'm just telling you that you cannot say both of those things at the same time. It is an internal contradiction. Otherwise, the dude who says he's married to Mika and Mika, both of their positions are equally valid. He says they married. She said they ain't. I gotta say.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's what you mean. Like, so that's what I'm saying. That's the same thing. That is a perceptive ideology. He probably really feel like we married. He thinks we married. That is his reality.
But
And
his feelings
but
aren't the
that's
issue,
not
Nikki.
reality.
hold on. Let me
That might
finish,
be
y'all.
his reality, but it's
I
not
don't like
reality.
over talking people. I'm just trying to make one point, y'all. So that could be his reality, and that could be his truth. And who knows? We probably was married another lifetime. That's as he probably
Oh my God.
identified me as that.
All you're doing now is trying to say that there's some other reality, and all you're saying is that it would have to correspond to reality. You're making both points and you're contradicting yourself. I'm sorry.
I'm not contradicting myself. I made
You
my
are,
point.
because you're saying that it could have happened in some other world, some other reality. And again, and all that would be to say is that he can't just make the statement without some reality that it has to correspond
Without
to.
facts.
Material facts,
Without
brother.
facts. Without
Listen,
facts.
y'all can say material facts all you want to.
Without
You
facts.
say material facts all you want to. It
You
still
have to
says.
prove it.
Listen,
Prove it. Prove that we're married.
I don't know why people say improve because again, it has no bearing here. But listen, here's the thing. All you're saying is that I don't get to just make statements. So listen, we are not on YouTube right now. And again, and every time a person came back in and said I was wrong, you contradicted your position. You don't know that you did, but you contradicted your position every time you say I'm wrong. If you disagree with anything I'm saying, you cannot hold your position.
I'm just saying that Leandre is wrong just because I want to say he wrong because he cut off his ponytail and I can't call him a samurai.
He 100% wrong, DMG.
DMG, question.
Shoot.
You have 6 wives, correct?
I have what?
6 wives.
No. In an alternate universe, I have 16. But
okay. So in this one right here, I say you got 6.
You're lying.
How am I lying?
Because my wife is listening to the show.
Okay,
so no, you're lying because you're just making up stuff.
You're making up stuff. You're making up stuff. Let's talk about whether I
No, you lying because I have one wife. Go ahead.
Okay, but I want you to tell me, why am I lying?
Because it's not true. It's not a fact. I'm only married to one woman.
Okay, but is it true for me that you have 6 wives?
Say that again.
Am I entitled to my own truth on that?
No.
Do you have 6 wives?
I said he do.
No.
What about our brother Cat TK? Do he have 10 wives?
You can't say I'm making up stuff. You cannot say I'm making up stuff.
Let's walk it out.
Okay,
now,
listen.
Let's say that I claim to have 6 wives, but in reality, I only have one. But I'm conducting myself with these other 8 women as if they're my wives, and that's what your opinion is based on. Would you still be lying? I'm saying that technically you would still be lying, even if I'm claiming them to be my wives, which would mean I'm lying. But your opinion within that opinion that you have and that claim that you have that you're telling the truth will hold more weight, in that you could just be mistaken instead of lying, but you would still be lying because it still would be untrue.
Okay.
My question is, one. So let's say that when I defined wife, I said that wife means something that you are legally married, that you're in a legal covenant with these people recognized by law, and I said that you have 6 of those that you went before a court of law, and that's how I define wife. Am I entitled to that?
It would just be objectively untrue.
But is it subjectively true?
No.
Right, because the words that I'm using have to mean something. The words, and this is the biggest issue. It's one of the biggest issues that I think we're having here. Words are symbols. They point to something. All words are symbols. They point to something else. The words that I'm speaking have to correspond to something. And this is why you can't have anything other than correspond to truth. They have to correspond to something particular.
Okay. Can I come in right quick?
It's not just yet. Hang on.
Give me 2 minutes after Leandre, and it'll be real quick.
So here's the thing. So when I say wife, and I'm saying that you legally have entered into this with these women, every word that comes out of my mouth should correspond to reality. Reality should bear witness to everything that I just said. My statement and reality need to be identical. It needs the law of the logical law of identity is how something is true. This is not perspectival. The logical law of identity. So do not get up here and say that it's perspectival in this sense. It's not.
First of
I'm
all,
making a claim about objective reality, and so if I'm making a claim about objective reality and what I say doesn't fit that in every way, then it is logically invalid.
Yeah,
okay,
but
Go
so
ahead,
let me
Jimmy.
address
they're saying
something
that
real quick.
reality is not objective. That's what they're basically saying.
Reality,
Yes,
reality is
except for Google Scholar.
Hold
Except for
on.
Google Scholar. And you picked up on this. As soon as they make that statement, they're contradicting their position.
No, hold on.
They're making a claim about objective
I
reality.
agree.
Objective.
Pause. Hold on. Because what you're saying, right? First of all, this whole conversation is a fallacy because we're not in court. We're talking
fallacy?
about, wait a minute, we're talking about just day-to-day social living as far as fact versus truth. In the legal system, things do change, and now you're talking legalese, and so now we're supposed to conform to your ideology of truth and fact in the legal.
No. What's the name of the fallacy?
In the legal construct. We're
What's the name of the legal fallacy? What's the name of the fallacy?
What's the name of the fallacy?
Yes, you
that
said
you're
this is a fallacy.
wrong. What do you mean?
What's the
Did you wrong, fallacy, nigga? That you wrong. Get the fuck out of here. He trying to give you what the Greek. He want you to do a Greek philosophy.
Hey, real quick. Let me say this, and like I said, it ain't gonna even take that long. And this was actually in a paper I wrote that Leandre was supposed to look at for me and made me get a B-. So I'm still tight about it. But check this out. When we talk about the truth, it ain't got nothing. And this is why I needed you to look at it, because this is what I wrote, Leandre. The truth has nothing to do, but I said don't have nothing to do, but I should have said has nothing to do. But anyway, the truth has nothing to do with our beliefs. Moreover, relativism is logically incoherent. It makes no sense. The statement, all truth is relative, means little. If this statement is objectively true, then relativism is false, because there is at least one objective truth, namely that the truth is relative. And that's how I sum up this whole discussion, because it's always going to be something that has to be objectively true, no matter what. So the truth can't be relative.
Okay, let me speak right now. Where the disconnect is in this conversation, you guys are using truth and fact synonymously, and there's nothing synonymous about truth and fact.
According to you,
a truth can be factual, but
I
it
agree
is
that the truth and the facts are synonymous.
So what makes something a fact?
May I finish, brother? May I finish, brother?
The fact is
go ahead, finish, brother Boudoir. Finish.
Thank you, brother. Please practice a little bit of decorum. Just because something
Mr. Dr. Decorum on the say, y'all. Go ahead.
Just because something is a truth to you, just because it is your truth, just because it is a truth to your tribe, just because it is a truth in your worldview, in your community, to the people you are around, does not make it factual. Please understand the difference. Truth and fact are not synonymous, man. And the faster you understand that, the bigger the world will open up to you. And I land the plane.
All right.
Let me go up there. Let me go. I just got here. I've been listening to y'all, and everybody been talking over everybody, but now my man said have some decorum.
No.
He jumped in several times. It's good. Check this out.
It ain't don't go to hard, DJ.
This what the brother cool with me, but I'm just saying, as I've been listening, everybody been talking over everybody, but then when I come in, it's about decorum. I get it. Check it out, brother. When what I want to know from everybody,
you want to get that? You want to get that? And let me.
Is that me? No, that's not me.
Like
that's not me. But what I want to know from everybody is what makes a fact, if not the truth.
Listen, let me answer that first.
Go ahead, go.
Yeah, what I would say the truth is just a loose definition based on what Leandro was saying. The truth is basically that which corresponds to reality. and basically the facts are the same. It's what corresponds to reality. Now, what I see we're doing here is we're saying a truth or their truth, but their truth is not necessarily the truth. So when we're talking about the truth, we're talking about that which corresponds to reality. Now, many different people can have different perspective of what they think the truth is, but it's not necessarily the truth. You understand? It's just that they have a perspective of what the truth is, but that don't mean that that's the truth. So I don't see a difference between what the truth and the facts are. To me, it's the same thing.
Yeah, and I echo everything Google Scholar just said because again, it's the only thing that actually makes sense. Again, you cannot make any sort of statement about the relativity of truth or perspective truth, anything like that, without making an objective claim about what's true of the entire universe and of every person's experience. Every time the statement is made, there's an internal contradiction is there. It is every single time it's stated, every time. And here's another true thing. Mika has put something up on the screen that I know good and well she does not understand. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Former samurai, did you just say what I said didn't make no sense?
No, not
He
you.
said he think I don't understand. Are you crazy?
No, I'm not crazy. You've demonstrated it. You demonstrated it.
Okay, that's my truth.
Hey, y'all we got B Wash. We got B Wash in the building too. But check it out. Hey Craig, good job, man. It was a good show. I was in and out. But good show with the brother. I did have some questions, but I hadn't got back from the clothing and supply giveaway. Shout out to my wife for coordinating that. This Bethel Church had a going back to school giveaway for the kids, and we hooked up at least 15 families. So for those who big on doing work in the community, we still doing it. But I did want to give y'all props on a good show. This is a good panel. I just wanted to chime in real quick and show that a high school dropout can be smart too. That being said, Samurai, grow your ponytail back because I miss calling you Samurai Jack. Brother Mudawar, it's always, I hope I ain't butcher your name either. It's always good to hear you on the channel. I'm looking forward to hearing B Wash, Google Scholar. You know I always like hearing you. Mika, look like she finna take some heads off. Craig, I don't know what the hell you doing. But yeah, everybody keep it popping. I'm gonna jump back off and keep listening. But again, thank y'all for jumping in.
Enjoy your evening, good brother.
Peace.
Peace.
I got a qualifying question when y'all get ready. This is Byron, by the way. Be Wash.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Well, the only reason I want to say this is, are we qualifying terms?
One second, brother. Can you speak up a little bit? We can barely hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm outside with these. I'm outside with these kids.
I can hear you just fine. Mudawar got like a 99 Boost mobile phone, I think, or something.
My bad.
Oh my goodness.
I'm out here with these kids, kind of just letting them wind down today. So if you hear some background noise, that's them playing around. But no, the question I had is that because I keep hearing things like reality, truth, fact, and I wanted to ask because I got on a little later. Was there qualifications in how the terminologies were used? And the reason why I asked that is that depending on the different fields of study and ideology, I can't speak today. Perspectives, it may depend on how one is attacking the question. So, like in business, for example, what is truth, reality, and fact? That's a different question than, say, a philosopher, right? Which would be a different, and that's a different answer than I would suspect, though I'm not in that field of legal cases or in medical terms. So each, kind of different fields of study has different nuances of how they determine those three things: reality, truth, and fact. So I was just wondering, because it seems like it was talking past a little bit, because it seems like Leandre qualified and asked who was a legal expert, meaning that he was setting the parameters in a legal discussion using those terms. And it seems like maybe there was some talking past that it wasn't understood that the parameters of what he was stating as such. So
It was very much. It was very much understood, and you just exposed the fallacy in his argument by putting us in the arena of the legal way. Just like you said, the truth and facts will be interpreted different in different avenues or
Well,
whatnot. So
well,
this is the
I wasn't
fallacy of
saying it's
his
a
argument.
fallacy, sister, or anything. I was really just trying to qualify to see what realm we're speaking of, because some things are different. Like, are we speaking of truths? Are we speaking absolute truths? Like, are we using that qualifier? Are we using subjective, objective truth? Because again, different fields of study has different realms in which they answer the question. So, in my mind, when I heard the term or asking about legal questions, to me that was directly, but it can be interpreted indirectly as qualifying the at least that portion of discussion in a legalese term. Because it was asked, like, use it, since we're using legal definitions in court cases and whatnot, then we're under that paradigm. And so to answering that question would be quite different to say if you were in a Fortune 100 business meeting with the CEO, CFO, CIO, and so on, and other stakeholders, and then answering that question in that paradigm. So that's what I'm just trying to make sure.
And again, brother, and again, good brother, that he qualified his statement in legal terms, and we destroyed it in legal terms.
Lie again.
Well,
lie again.
He qualified his statement in legal terms, and it was destroyed in legal terms.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But listen.
Pardon me, brother.
Listen.
Pardon
Mutawa
me,
and
brother.
Mika
I'm speaking to the
are
other brother right
liars.
now.
I did
I'm
not
speaking to
introduce
the
anything
other
legal
brother.
here.
Okay,
That was
Okay.
Craig and Mika who talked about what would happen in a court of
all
law,
right. Well,
and
can
then I
you
responded to
curb your
that.
enthusiasm?
Oh no,
Can you curb
sir!
your
You brought up the court
enthusiasm?
of law. Run a tape
Okay,
back.
watch
Run
this.
back
Watch
the
this.
tape.
Mika,
Brother,
Run
Mika, I tell
back
you
the
what.
do
tape.
this. Brother, don't do this. Curb
Run
your
back the tape with
Mika,
your
enthusiasm,
Mika,
brother.
I will.
Hold on.
Mika, I will bet you.
Curb your
Mika, I bet you
enthusiasm, brother.
5,000. Mika, I bet you
Run the tape
$5,000.
back,
Enthusiasm,
because I
brother.
never said nothing
Hold
about
on,
legal.
Mika. One
Watch
second,
this.
Mika. One second, Mika. Wait 1 second. Just curb your enthusiasm, brother, and let me speak. That's all I want to do. I gave the good brother more than ample enough time to articulate his position, and now I'm articulating my position. And I would appreciate if we have a little bit of decorum amongst intelligent
Brother,
black
stop
men
saying
and
decorum.
women
I don't
and
care,
not
bro. Just
cut
get
each
to your
other
thing.
off,
Stop,
good
bro. I
brother.
don't care. Get to
I
your
would
thing.
appreciate if
I
we
don't
have
care
an
about you talking about
element of
decorum. Get to your thing. I
decorum,
don't care.
brother. I would appreciate if we have an element of decorum when we conversing with each other,
Stop saying
brother.
decorum. I don't care. Get to
Bro,
your
I
point.
know
Stop
you don't care
grandstanding.
about brother.
Stop
Unclench your
saying decorum. Get to
jaws.
your point.
Unclench your jaws and let me finish what
Stop
I was
saying decorum.
saying.
Get to your point.
Okay, now back to what I was saying before you got a little butthurt. Now, you were speaking about something in the realm of the legal field. And if you say something is a truth in the legal field, if you say a bum said, like, no, I'm gonna give the exact example we gave. Blonde haired man walked into a place wearing all black with a AR-15, aired the motherfucker got aired out. A blonde-haired man wearing all black came out, jumped in a black sedan, and sped away. If someone was witnessing that, what would they say? Their truth would be the motherfucker that went in there and aired out that place was the man they saw jump in that black sedan. But the facts could have been that the man that actually did it went out the back door, and the man that ran out the front door and jumped in the sedan was just an innocent bystander trying to get the fuck away. The person's truth was not factual. That's what we're talking about right now, brother. And I land the plane. Drop a bomb for me one time, please.
Okay, cool. Now watch this. I'm gonna shut an old head liar up. Now watch this. And I'm shutting Mika up too for lying. Mika, 5,000 right now. 5,000 right now. Bet me.
I'm not betting you 5,000.
Exactly. Okay. Now watch this. I'm gonna share my screen. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play back what was stated, and then we're gonna then watch this, and then everybody can hold their positions. And watch, everybody contradicted themselves because I just said that I didn't bring up the law that the two other people did, and no one said, "Hey, that's true. That's his truth." But watch this. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're just gonna play it back. I opened it up in another tab, rewound to the part. Let's just do this. We'll see who brought up the law. Can you share my screen, please?
Now we want to share screens and whatnot.
Can you share my screen, please? Here you go. Watch this.
Now we want to share screens and whatnot.
It's perjury because
But
what
if you're
said,
telling a truth,
Mika, you're
to tell the truth and the whole truth, right?
It can be a wholehearted truth to the individual or to the people group or to anybody. They can ride
rewind
with
that
it
some
for
more.
the rest of
You
their
trying to lie.
life. But
Rewind
that
that some
does
more.
not
Mika, be
make
quiet
it
for once.
factual. You can
In a half
have
mile, use the right 2 lanes to take the exit toward US 1, US 9.
My bad.
you can no sweat, brother. You live in life, brother. You got to do your thing. You
Just
can
mute
have
your
a
mic while you driving.
you can have a truth that you held dearly from a child to they close the casket on you, and that's your truth. And millions of other individuals can hold that same truth. Does that truth make it factual? No, it does not, brother.
Hold on. Could I hold on right quick?
Is any of what you said just true?
Yeah. Hold on, Leandre. I'm just gonna say this on the stand. When you better get on the stand, they said to tell the truth and the whole truth, right? They don't say tell the facts and the whole facts.
They say, what is your POV? What was your POV of the situation? That's all they're asking.
Y'all talking
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Any lawyers or law students up here?
No.
Except you probably the only one. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so why we get into the realm of law and what they say?
I'm just saying we know what they say, brother.
No, y'all don't know what they say.
They say I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, right?
You can pause it, Dre.
That's a testimony.
Yeah.
So here we go. So watch this. So watch this. Who brought up the law?
Actually, Ratchet Craig actually brought it up.
Ratchet Craig
brought
and then
that up.
Mudawan chimed in, and then Mika was starting to talk right there. I didn't bring up the law.
Bingo.
Y'all went into the law, and none of you know what you're talking about.
Leandre, this is why I asked the question when it was brought up, and you qualified.
You trying to say I brought up the law? I did not bring up the law.
Hang on 1 second. I'm still sharing. Hang on.
Right, and this is a person when you have a witness.
Yeah, you telling your perception of the truth.
The truth and be honest.
No, you will go to jail for saying something. So here we go. Listen. I'm the one with the legal expertise on the panel. I didn't mention the law. I didn't mention the law. Craig brought it up. Budawa commented on it. Mika came in and talked about that's testimony. Y'all took this and so then started talking about that's a fallacy. It's not a fallacy. Fallacies have names. You don't know the name of the fallacy, so you don't know logic anymore. Do you know the law? So here's the problem. What was stated repeatedly was there was a fallacy because I took us into the realm of the law. No, I didn't. That's what was stated. What Mika said was false. It's not from her perspective that it's true that I brought up the law. I didn't do it. I'm the legal scholar up here. Nobody else is, and I didn't come into the law.
Nah, I brought up the law. You know what I brought up the law?
Hey, legal scholar, hold on, legal
talking
scholar,
about what
hold
they
on.
say in the court,
How many
started talking about that's a testimony.
How many
and I
cases have you litigated, legal scholar?
But so
excuse
Leandre,
me?
How many cases have you litigated, legal scholar?
How many cases have I litigated? Zero. But watch this. I do post conviction.
Thank you.
What I do
You're not an expert. You're not an expert, brother.
I'm sorry.
You're not an expert. Okay.
I'm sorry. Watch this. Look, watch this. Three people who have no idea about the law whatsoever trying to tell me.
No, you can't go with
right there. I have an idea about the law.
Listen. I'm sorry.
I think in criminal justice, brother. I got 3 courses in criminal justice, brother.
Listen, I imagine that you do.
You can't
I
sit up
imagine
here
that
and
you
say
do.
you don't even want to know anything about the law, brother.
No. I didn't say no. Listen, one, you don't know anything about the law, period. But watch this. You don't have to litigate a case. You do not have to litigate a case.
I litigated 4 cases. I told you that already and beat all 4.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but people represent themselves all the time, and it doesn't mean that they know what they're doing in the law. So as I was saying, so for example, I've had lawyers as professors who've never practiced law a day in their life, but they have a Juris Doctorate or a Juris Master's degree that says that they're experts in the law. Okay?
Wait.
But you was an expert in the law, brother. You have zero litigation.
Wait a minute. Was that logical fallacy just an appeal to credentials? Was that just an appeal to credentials fallacy?
I'm sorry?
Was that just an appeal to credentials, logical fallacy?
No.
No. There was no. I don't know what an appeal to credentials, logical fallacy is in the first place. So anyhow, and watch this. You also have no expertise in logic. But again, here's what was stated. Everything that was stated when it said this is a fallacy because he took us into the realm of the law. Lie. It's not true for Mika. It's not true for Mudawa. It's not true for Ratchet Craig. It's a lie for everybody because it didn't happen.
Okay, now listen to this. So basically, you saying that me commenting on Craig bringing up the law is me bringing up the law?
I said y'all brought up the law. I said Craig said it.
No. I asked you a question. You're not answering the question.
I'm sorry, but what you're asking is called a loaded question.
It's a yes or no answer.
It's not a yes or no.
Logically, it's not a yes or no answer. Are you saying
logically it's not a yes or no if you're asking a loaded question?
I'm asking you a yes or no question.
You are asking a yes or no question that does not deserve a yes or no answer because it's loaded. I specifically
I'm asking you.
Craig brought it up. I said Mika. I said y'all brought up the law. Y'all went to talk about the law. Leandre did not.
So question, Leandre.
You did too, Leandre. You talked right after me. So you
I asked you, Mika, when you talked, I asked you what your expertise was in the law. And then Mudawa came and said, I don't think you should disparage or something nonsense like that. I said, I'm not. I'm asking. The same way I would ask somebody came to diagnose my grandmother with terminal cancer, I would ask what their medical expertise was. I'm asking when you all are telling me what they say in a court of law, I'm asking, what's your expertise? When you say what they're getting at, y'all said repeatedly that they're asking for your perspective. And I said, no, they're not. They're asking for the objective truth.
Question. So,
yes, sir.
So since it was established, which I heard, it was established with someone that was not you, that law or legal paradigm was brought into the discussion, and you qualified and asked who was the legal expertise. Since that paradigm was brought in, would it be fine to expect that those speaking on terms would be using legalese or in that realm terminology and understanding when using terms like reality, truth, fact, etc. in that legalese term, since it was introduced and qualified by who has expertise?
Yeah, it seems reasonable to expect that's what we're going to be going on. Yes, sir.
And this is why I said before, like since in this paradigm, the legality, the legalese was brought into the paradigm of y'all discussion, and then it was qualified by who had legal expertise. The terminology, therefore, is set by those within that legalese paradigm. That's why I said the conversations in the business boardroom or in medical terms or even the philosophy class will be different in a legalese paradigm. But it seems like you guys said, and then it was brought to the qualifications of legalese terms. So when using terms like fact, reality, truth, anything used outside those legalese terms that was set in the paradigm wouldn't make sense to even bring it up.
Okay, good point, right? Also, we don't really know if this guy has an expertise in the legal field. So, as far as we know, that is just his truth. That is not a fact, and nor has he brought anything
but sister, bring that
as a fact.
He's
just here to talk very condescending.
Once that paradigm is brought into the fact, then all you have to do is ask who's a legal expert. Y'all can start bringing up medical history or anthropology right now. None of us are anthropology experts. But once that's brought in and qualified, and then we say, okay, we're talking about in the field of anthropology, that means all of us, whether we know it or unknow it, ignorant or not ignorant, are determined by the qualifications of that discussion. So even if I don't know what the certain terms mean in anthropology, if someone looks it up and looks at the terms, they can hold me accountable and say, hey, we're having a conversation about anthropology, and you use this term incorrectly in the field of anthropology and how it's used, and therefore I'll be guilty of not using that term correctly. Doesn't matter if brother can prove if he's a lawyer or not. If that paradigm is set forth and the qualifications in that paradigm are set forth, all who are speaking are subject to that paradigm and its qualifications when using terms.
But the paradigm of the definition doesn't change. Whether you're talking about law, or whether you're talking about baseball. If it's a fact, it's a fact. If it's a truth, it's a truth. A truth is
now
subjective.
It doesn't change on perspective.
It does not. Pardon me, brother. I didn't cut you off. I didn't cut you off, nor the other brother. And if we're qualifying terms, let's qualify a term. The term is fact versus truth. A truth is always subjective. If a truth can contain facts or it cannot contain facts, it's just somebody that's observing a thing and giving their fucking opinion about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's
Google Scholar.
It could be
Google Scholar.
When
you answer a question for me.
Excuse me, brother. Excuse me,
Google
brother.
Scholar.
I can try.
The brother said,
brother.
the brother
Excuse me,
said,
brother.
truth is
Calm-
always
curb
subjective.
your
Can you please,
enthusiasm.
can you
Curb your
please judge
enthusiasm,
that
brother.
statement for me, Google
Curb
Scholar?
your enthusiasm, brother. Please
Can you judge that
curb
statement?
your
The truth
enthusiasm,
is
brother.
always subjective. Is
I
that an
already
Curb your
objection?
stated my
Never
position.
mind.
I
I
already
see the
stated my position. I don't agree with that statement.
Right. He said he
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
agree with
Well,
that
what I'm
position.
asking is,
You're
when
not
you say
asking
truth is always
anything because
subjective.
I was speaking, brother. You're
When you
not
say truth is
asking
always
anything.
subjective.
I was speaking,
No, the
brother.
truth is
You're not
objective to
asking
me.
anything. I was speaking, brother. Please have some decorum.
Stop saying decorum, old
You
man.
wouldn't do that in front of them white folks that you buck dance for with their
You
credentials.
don't know what I would do anywhere, and your mama buck dances, punk.
I'm just saying you wouldn't do that in front of them white boys.
You
that
don't know what
buck
I would do
dance
anywhere,
for.
and your mama
Time
buck
for me
dances,
to
punk.
leave.
I'm just saying, brother. So respect me like you do them white boys with the credentials. I'm your
Listen,
brother.
you jumped in. Listen, as DMG said when he came on here,
I'm your
you
brother,
jumped
but
in.
why are you
You jumped
disrespecting
in.
me? You wouldn't disrespect. You wouldn't disrespect.
You don't
your
know
white
who I
boys
would
with the
You don't know.
credentials?
You don't know who I would disrespect. You know nothing about me. You don't know who I would disrespect.
But why are you
You just
doing
making
this, though,
statements.
brother? Have a little
Listen,
decorum.
I'm doing the same. I'm doing the same thing that's been done the whole time.
No.
all
Have
been
a
up
little
here.
decorum.
No, listen. Tell your mama has
Okay,
decorum.
I'm
I'm doing
finna
the
time
same thing
y'all. I'm
everybody's
finna
been doing up
time
here.
it. I'm finna time this from now on because
I've
everybody,
been doing
y'all only
this.
getting 1 minute to talk because I'm not gonna keep doing this.
Mika, I will concede
I'm
to those
good.
rules.
Y'all have a good night. It got childish. Now we talking about people's family members.
Yeah,
and
I'm talking about your
whatnot.
mama
I
because
understand,
don't
brother.
yeah.
I
Listen.
understand.
Don't
I
get to saying the
understand.
nonsense you
Craig,
say.
do some
I
moderation
understand.
here.
Yeah, I understand. Brother.
Moderating.
I get it. I get
Listen,
it. When you
listen.
the first one to ad hom is usually the one that's getting intellectually vested.
Okay, and you would know that from your debates at Chico State, right?
Okay, I'm finna give y'all 1 minute. Okay,
Mika, go ahead. Mika, go ahead and start the time.
Y'all have
now.
a good night, beloved.
wait,
I'm finna have me a little cocktail. No, I'm good. I'm good, y'all. There's no intellect here. There's no intellect here. Thank
Your
you,
mom
though.
ain't got no intellect. Now, when a person gets on here and says that truth is always subjective, that is an objective claim. And the problem is that people are unaware of how inept they are in a particular topic. You cannot make an objective statement about how truth is always subjective, because if that is a true statement and it's true all the time, that truth is always subjective, then it involves its own internal contradiction. This is not logical. And again, I just want to state again, y'all brought up the subject. Oh, go ahead, B.
No, I was saying, yeah, that statement would be contradictory. If it's always, you can say most of the time, you can say majority of the time, but if you say always, that would be contradictory. You cannot always be subjective.
Okay, so I don't know who the other brother is that's on the panel with the chair as the profile. But
That's Byron is nice. I'm
this
the
is
mean.
this is Byron.
Yeah,
Okay,
Byron.
so
That's your cousin, Mika.
we have this arrogant person on here named Leandre, right? And so he likes to talk condescending, even though you bring, and then he try to tell you don't know what you know. Like when I say it's a fallacy, he said, "What's the name of the fallacy?" Well, all fallacies are logical fallacies for the most part. You might have some little differentials, but fallacy is always logical, right? So it's a logical fallacy. Hold on,
Mika,
don't interrupt me, please. Don't interrupt me, please. I even presented on the share screen the legal terms for truth and facts, and he told me I didn't know what I was reading, but I read it completely like what I said. And before I started this debate, I stated my first statement about truth and fact was that the truth can have facts in it, but the truth is not a fact. A fact is something that supports a truth. Okay, so facts are evidence, right? You could prove it. A fact can be proven. A truth can be proven as well, but a truth is also a perception.
Mika, I think you've been over a minute now. Listen, sis, with respect.
I've been less than a minute with your condescending
all of it. All of it. Yes, ma'am. But listen, what you put on the screen is again incorrect, and you actually don't know what you're reading because what it's talking about there in the realms of the law, the court, the lower court specifically, and the juries, the magistrates in those cases, and the juries are finders of what? What are they finders of?
They're finders of facts.
They're finders of fact. Okay. And so each individual fact has to be what? Each individual fact that the court establishes in a particular case, what do those facts have to be?
Proven.
They have to be true. The court has to find that they are true. And so what it's talking about here is the difference between a court finding something as true, where you might have evidentiary issues that forbade introduction of evidence. For example, let's say we're talking about a rape case. The court might not allow certain evidence against the accused because it's more prejudicial than probative, right? But it would change the outcome of the substantive truth of a thing. But the court did not find that to be a case because there was a legal barrier to it. But it was not supporting your point at all. There's a specific legal thing that's being stated there, and it's talking about how sometimes certain evidence is not admitted that would lead to a different objective conclusion. It is talking about the court's role in finding facts, and again, and each individual fact has to be itself established independently, and so those things have to be true. Those things cannot be in dispute. And even if they are in dispute, then the court is going to make a legal finding on each of those things. But that has nothing to do with our conversation about whether or not truth is subjective.
It has everything to do with the conversation.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you again. You read that paper before tonight?
No, I have not read that paper before.
Did you read the paper in its entirety tonight?
I have read majority of it.
Did you? So no is the answer to the question.
No.
Okay, so then how are you telling me what the conclusion is?
Because I read majority of it. I read to like page 7.
Okay. Okay. What's substantive truth? Please don't read the paper. What's substantive truth?
Excuse me?
What is substantive truth?
Substantive truth is when it's substantial evidence to prove what the person is saying.
Okay. And now, can you give me a page number where it's going to reflect that in the article you read?
Nope, I cannot. I will have to go through it.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
It's because I don't remember the page.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. You just read it in the last couple of minutes. Now, so it should be that. Now, Mika, you've studied logic in college, right? Because I know you're a scholar. You studied logic in college?
Philosophy.
Okay. And so, do not logical fallacies have names?
You name one.
Fallacy of the fallacy of the excluded middle. For example, it could be it's informal, formal. So this could be something like an ad hominem abusive. This could be something like a post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy. In any number of them. It could be an appeal to emotion. It could be an appeal to an inappropriate authority. There's a number of logical fallacies. There's a master list of logical fallacies. When you said I committed a logical fallacy, shouldn't that fallacy have a name?
No, it's a fallacy because you're saying that truth in the legal field means one thing, but when we're saying truth in its entirety, truth is subjective and perceptive. That is all I'm saying. But then I also said truth is a fact. Now, I mean, truth has fact in it. So now
I don't know what this has to do with the question I asked you.
No, I said no. No, it's a logical fallacy. I don't know what the name of the fallacy you want me to find out. I ain't never heard about no ad hoc fallacy or nothing like that. And my studies, I don't know what school you went to. And this is like, you must be young, because when I went to college, I was older, and y'all come up with new terms
34.
like wait a minute, y'all come up with new terms like alternative facts. So what you're saying is an alternative fact.
No, ma'am. The list of fallacies would have been the same as when you were in school. And so there is a logical fallacy. Yes, they are. There is a fallacy.
I'm telling you, they're not.
and I'm telling you they are, as the man with the philosophy degree. I'm telling you that they are.
The and man with 1,000 degrees, that ain't
no.
I don't believe you, because you sound like a person that just use inflammatory words that mean nothing.
Mika, what are you talking about? There they are. There they've been behind the screen prior too.
I can't see that.
Listen, I'm
Phoenix, Arizona.
No, there's absolutely nothing up there that says Phoenix, Arizona. Period.
I can't see those.
Mika, I'm sorry about that. I've shown my entire credentials on video. I've shown my credentials on. I've shown my transcripts on video. My entire transcript's been put up on video. My video response to NeoX. So again, here's the thing. As a matter of fact, these are the logic book sections up here. I can grab one of these off the shelf and we can read through the list of fallacies. We can read through them together because these things are actual. They have actual factual real names and actual form. They have an actual issue with them. Formal versus informal fallacy. One of the books that's up here is Logic for the Law Students. Hang on one second. This one right here is called The Force of Logic, using formal logic as a tool in the craft of legal argument. This is the logic that you have to take when you're studying to be a lawyer so that you avoid formal fallacies. And the Supreme Court, and all it is case of citations where these sorts of things here. So talking about being able to find the middle term, there's actual formulas to these. This one right here is put simply. And so it's using shapes to show the legal argument here and how it's a fallacy. These things have actual formulas. It's at the very back of most logic textbooks. I have several of them. Logical fallacies have actual factual names. They have actual factual names. So you're just saying that something is a legal fallacy, and it's actually a fallacy called the fallacy of the false fallacy. It's when a person is just throwing around the word fallacy with no basis. They're actually accusing you of a fallacy with no basis. That's the fallacy you've committed several times.
Oh no, I have a basis.
No, you don't. Tell me the name of the fallacy. Tell me the name of the fallacy.
You pick one since you know them all.
No. Listen, each of
The
these
man
is
who knows everything knows nothing, and my husband is home, y'all. So I gotta go.
Mika,
Goodbye.
I would imagine you do, but there is a such thing as names to these fallacies. And everybody back here regularly, repeatedly wants to discuss the topic of logic, and nobody knows what they're talking about. 99% of y'all don't know what you're talking about in the realm of logic, and I don't understand where everyone wants to appeal to it. We shouldn't all go around claiming to be auto mechanics. It's a problem. Brother Craig, what you do? You went to sleep?
I'm here.
Yeah. See, and watch this. Look, hang on. I'm about to find this thing here, bro. Because look, this is crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy to me. That people watch this. Page 361. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show it on the screen. All right, watch this. Page 361. This is what it says. There you go. False charge of fallacy, which is right here. And it reads, consists in accusing someone of a fallacy without having a good reason to do so. Example, Bertrand Russell was charged with inconsistency because soon after World War II, he argued that we should nuke the Russians if they didn't behave, but later argued that we had to belong to Russians no matter what. Since he explained his mind change and due to the fact that the Soviets had obtained nuclear weapons, he was not guilty of inconsistency. That is the fallacy of a false charge of fallacy. Have a basis for saying that there is a fallacy here. Stop just using terms on the internet. Stop it.
Yeah, Leandre, this is why I asked the qualifying. I know it's gonna hit off that hard, but I was asking the qualifying question because it seems like there was parameters within the discussion, and I'm like, yeah, nobody's adhering to the actual terms of the discussion, which seems like it was brought up in legal terminology, and because of that, I don't know. It's just like, oh well, it's that person's truth, that person's truth. That's not how it works. And again, I'm not a legal expert. I'm not trying to assume as such, but I do understand that different fields of study and different understandings have different parameters. So once that was introduced by, it seems like Ratchet Cred and confirmed by Muadu. Sorry if I butchered your name. And Mudawa. Okay. Once it was then confirmed by those two, then the parameter discussion was at that point became legal. And then Leandre comes back and then sets the qualifiers to see if we are adhering to legal terms by asking who's a legal expert. I don't know. I don't really see a reason to get upset and say, well, no, it means X, Y, and Z. Like, if someone set the parameters and get mad at set parameters, then that means they don't understand the parameters.
Yeah. So Byron, let me ask a question.
Mhm.
Did you have to take business law?
Yeah, I did.
You a legal expert?
Absolutely not. Don't ask me. I don't know anything about. I will never give my full opinion on business law. I'm not a legal expert. Don't pretend to be. Yeah, I took a class. I took 2 classes actually, undergrad and to get my master's degree, and I still.
Okay. Okay. So, did you have to take a biology course too?
In undergrad, yes.
Yeah, as undergrad, expert in biology.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So, so anyway, listen. Again, I just want to say this is what I be meaning. Like, we got to stop this. I'm trying to raise the bar back here. Okay. So when I accuse a sister, for example, Mika, and I like Mika, she's lots of fun. I love the banter back and forth with Mika. It ain't like that. I want you to see my face, it ain't like that. But it's like, don't just throw these terms. And then again, for Ratchet Craig too, you just gonna just state.
Oh, I heard my name.
You can't just state that. Oh well, in the court of law they tell you present your truth. What are you talking about? You go to jail for that.
I was making a point, and you were so anxious to cut me off. But you go ahead, you do your tap dancing. You always do. You're a great tap dancer.
That's correct. We played the video. There's no need.
What was wrong with what I said, Mr. Expert? With those legalities.
You were trying to go for like a pragmatic or relativistic sort of truth, and saying that that's what they ask you to do in the court of law. And I was explaining that that's just not the case. And then Mudawa and Mika are coming in agreeing, talking, yeah, because that's they do. No, they don't. No, they absolutely do not.
What they don't do, brother?
They are not asking you to present some sort of relative truth when you show up to a court of law. You're supposed to be speaking.
What they asking for when you get on stand, brother?
They're asking for the whole truth. They're asking for something objective. They're asking for you to recall the event. There's a reason why studies have talked about the fact that the witness testimony is oftentimes unreliable.
Yes, unreliable. Yes.
Oh, watch this.
Based off other evidence, right?
But watch this. But that unreliability means that it does not correspond to reality. And there's a reason why you have witness impeachment. There's a reason. There's a reason why you cross-examine a witness, because you're trying to get to.
Yeah. But you don't have to. If I'm saying what I thought I saw, right? You might have a person look just like you, Leandre, some type of way. I might thought it was you because I see you all the time, right? But you all of a sudden they come up in the courtroom and you say, I was in Miami. I got a video and this is what I was. I thought I seen you, brother. I thought I seen you. I'm not lying. That's what I thought I seen.
Let me set it up for you, Rich Craig and Leandro. You let me know if I'm wrong, right? Because again, I'm not a legal.
No, you don't need help for validation, brother.
But I'm saying
you hold your own. Y'all trying to do this. One person validating another one. I ain't doing that shit.
Well, for me, I have a typical high degree of academic humility and analysis. So if it's something that I know I'm not an expert in, I'm going to lean towards those who I can confirm, who know better than me if I'm on the right track. Right? It's not about the inheritance of Leandre. He's just the only one on the panel that has not only degree but actually has training, expertise, and experience in this subject matter. I don't. Right. So in my mind, if say Craig, you say, "Oh, I saw Leandre walking down the street, and man, he shot 3 people." Right. I saw it. You on eyes. Right. And that's just you go in there. And then, as he said, the cross examiner says, like, "Hey, like, let me ask you this: did you have anything to alcoholic beverage prior to?" And you can confirm yes or no. Say you say yes. Okay.
But now I'm gonna say no.
Oh no, I'm just.
I'm gonna say no.
Question the hypothetical. So I'm proving the point here. Do you habitually smoke weed, for example, right? Or do THC, marijuana, whatever the case?
Man.
Yes. Do you do narcotic drugs? Do you do you pop pills? Do you do Xanax bars, all that kind of stuff? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So now that cross examiner had just said that. And let me add this other element. Did Leandre wrong you in what time in the past? Like, do you kind of feel, or is he a cousin to somebody that you don't like? Yes. Okay. So now in that cross examination, your truth becomes like really questionable because I've proven that you are someone who habitually dives into drug use, Schedule 1 and Schedule 2. Two, that you also have a direct or indirect axe to grind with Leandre because of his association. So therefore, is your reality therefore as a witness 100% credible, or did we just put in the question that you have outside motivations, both consciously and sometimes subconsciously? Leandre, let me know if I'm wrong or right on that. I'm going on mute so I can hear, but I'm
No,
still
no,
listening.
no, hold on. I like this. No, hold on. I got this, Leandre. Them between me and him.
I gotta jump off anyway, but y'all have that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, what did Leandre D do it though, brother? Byron, what you get, brother Byron? What if he did do it and I'm on Schedule 1, Schedule 2, all these things going around, and you could discredit me because of all that, and Leandre get off because that happened too. You could discredit somebody. In the judge said he's not a reliable witness because he's a fucking drug addict.
Hey, what happened to Leandre's icon? Is he leave?
I don't know. He bounced out. He said he could fit bounced out.
Okay. Well, no. I would say in that case again, the whole point is that now your witness testimony, your truth, right? It becomes at that point tainted because I've proven that you have outside motivations. Again, consciously or subconsciously, that can make you either a lie or have a skewed view of the truth. Right?
Okay, I'm just saying, brother. What if Leandre did kill that person? I seen it,
then that's the whole
and
point.
I know him.
The whole point of having trial.
And because you proved that I all these things. I know him. And I had a problem beef with him in the past. I'm on Schedule 1 and 2 drugs, and he actually killed this person. And then they discredit my testimony at this point, and he get off.
You're jumping further than what I'm saying. I didn't say.
I'm just saying, what if he get off though? It's the opposite. It's still the same. It's still. I was telling the truth. I was telling the truth at that point, but because I do these things that you're talking about, now I went in the opposite way.
No. Listen to me. I want you to listen. Listen what I'm saying. I did not state that you said that he was wrong or right, or that he was in fact untrue. What I said is that your truth, your subjective truth, at least I have as in crossing examinations, I put in question. Now that in a trial basis, there will be other things that come into the fact to see if your subjective truth actually aligns with the objective reality, which is ultimate truth. So then that's when you would ask that question. Okay, did with all the other qualifiers, was that true? What I did though is say that your subjective truth does not ipso facto automatically mean it is reality, because I put in other qualifiers in there that can make it skewed. That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, brother. My point is with you, brother Byron, is I'm saying you actually did, or Leandre actually did it, right? We talk about Leandre. He's like a killer. But anyway, he actually did it, and then I'm high drunk and everything, but because I get high drunk, I'm mad at him, and I actually reported him. And then they say, hey, you're not a credible witness because you all these things you have a motivation, and he get out from the crime. Now, is that still the truth? Because I do that, or he just got out from the crime at this point.
Well,
but I see them, right?
That's more again. That's why you have a full trial.
Yeah.
All I did is just say that there's other fact. All this introduced a question mark into your testimony at that point about the truth, or at least your understanding of the truth.
Yeah.
That maybe your understanding of the truth is skewed for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That means we have to at least question. I didn't say we got to throw out your testimony, but we got to at least question it to say like, okay, we need some further evidence to see if it lines up with the actual objective reality. It could be that your subjective truth is the objective reality. It could be, but it doesn't. It's a factor ought to make it as such, right? And so that means that again, depending in that paradigm of understanding, that your truth is not being reflective of the reality, and in the court of law, truth is reality. So if they're trying to find the truth that is correspondence with the facts, which is corresponding with reality. So therefore, they're going to take your truth and see does it correspond with the other 2 points, does it correspond with the fact. And if it doesn't, then therefore your truth is screwed, and therefore your truth is not an absolute truth. It's a
So my truth is impaired at this moment. Even I know what I say. It is facts that you killed this person. It's facts that you killed this person.
It could be a
But
lie, skewed. They've proven that people have really believed so much a lie they believe it's true.
yeah, and I know that if people who tuck themselves in, they didn't tuck themselves in, and the court system had to say, "Bro, we know you ain't do that."
And again, I'm freestyling right now because again I'm not a legal. So everything I'm saying is not something to be hold true to, like, and I'm talking
Yeah.
just later, like that's not me. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just saying in a conversation you can see how if you don't set the terminology of certain things, then that doesn't really, that doesn't match for it. That's why I said. That's why I asked.
But in reality, I know it's basically facts, right? But at this point, everything become observational, right? And once everything become observation, it become perceptual, right?
Not
And our eyes see what we see, right?
Mm-hmm.
But can it be tested? Then we have to have corresponding testimonies and all these legal acts. I'm just saying, even we witness things. I'm gonna say we witness things. We believe things. We believe it, but we would think it's the truth, right? Because I think absolutely truth is a logical and a religious thing, right? At the same time.
Not so much.
Yeah.
I can give you again. So let's take this example for you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Say this is 14th, 15th, or 16th century rural West Central Africa, right? Small tribe, whatever.
Mhm.
And a woman gives birth to twin boys, or maybe a boy and a girl, whatever. And it's in that tribe or in that region that when twins are born, that their truth is that there's a sign of the bad spirits, and that if that were to happen, then that qualifies either both or at least one of the children to be sacrificed, to be thrown out, because the
Okay.
twins are the result of a whatever terminology you want to use, an issue of from the bad guys, demonic, or whatever the case is, and that's their truth, right? Does their truth correspond with reality from what we know? Because I'm asking, does that truth correspond with reality? Yes or no?
I mean, yes and no. That's like yes and no. Because and I go back to what people were saying that you could be delusional. I'm gonna put it like this: you could be delusional, bro. I know plenty of delusional people. They thought they say, and they really mean it.
So an absolute truth.
And sometimes we get delusional people mixed up with liars, right?
No, I'm asking. In absolute truth, are twins the result of some spiritual demonic issue, or is there like a medical biological means to say like actually this is we know how twins occur because we know how semen and sperm and eggs occur and what happens in that whole process so is it a result of like evil spirits, somebody did something mean, or do we know that biologically like this is a possibility in all cases? Like, so one's an absolute truth and one is a subjective truth. So that means in that paradigm, like that's subjective
Well,
truth.
what's the absolute truth though? Which one is the absolute truth?
Is the absolute truth that twins are a result of a spiritual means, right? Or bad juju, whatever you want to use, or B, biological factors.
Bro,
What's the absolute?
I don't think they knew. I don't think they knew about the biological thing.
Knowledge of something doesn't mean that.
I mean, since they didn't know nothing about it, it came from their reality, and the truth if it came from
But absolute,
Yeah. From a cultural,
absolute truth doesn't.
moral beliefs and laws, right?
Absolute truth
Yeah.
does not care about your how much you know the knowledge. You may come to a truth centuries, millennia later, but that still makes
Yeah.
that truth to be true, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like that means that their truth is not equated to objective reality, objective
No,
truth.
no, no, no. And my thing is, I don't expect people. I expect people to say, uh, and this is what atheistic views come in when people say, man, that this shit, it don't make sense for us to be this a bad spirit and stuff like this, and I don't believe this, and you go against the culture at the time, right? Uh, and you might get a backlash for it. Like, nah, I'm not gonna kill none around my son. I'm gonna run out with both of my children, and you going against the belief system or the gods or the elders or the oracles of their time. You know what I'm saying? So, but you don't know nothing about biological things. But to your culture, that's the truth, though. It's the truth, and it's reality. Now, is it a fact? Nah, it's not a fact. That's all I'm saying.
But
Now,
that's
that's how I look at true facts and
that's saying that
true facts and reality. That's how I look at it.
in this discussion was going to be in any discussion like that you have to see the terminologies and sometimes even the paradigm of the
Yeah.
speaker.
We were just doing something tonight, brother, and I'm glad you jumped off about it. It was a good conversation. You jumped off. Yeah, you jumped off. So I'm gonna end it jump because we coming up to the 5 hour mark
Yeah, that's a
in
roll.
7 minutes. So please come back on, Byron, and so we can have. I know you a laid back brother. You civil, and you do your thing, and I don't think you for the rough stuff. I think Leandre is. Ruby is. I don't think you for the rough stuff. You might could have a talk with probably Moody Wild somebody, a little laid back OG section. Cause I think he wanna see your evidence on the West African Christianity being in West Africa prior to the European. I think you want to see your evidence on that and have a discussion on that.
I'm discussing like evidence, like a presentation.
I mean, whatever evidence, yeah, whatever books, whatever you have, like give them a book, and we can go for that.
Well, let me ask you this. And this is some sign I find office in the kind of community. Is disagreement on a subject a matter of the other person has to go and show you books when one says that they have well researched on the topic or not? Because let me ask you, this is what I do. When I say I've researched on a topic, like, and I took my time,
Mm-hmm.
I look at the information, the sources that I agree with, and also those that I equally disagree with. See, or at least the opposite of the subject matter where I'm going is to see, okay, are they equal, or do they have some sources that disagree with me? So we're talking about, for example, West African Christianity. The person says like, "Oh no, I done done the research. It don't exist. It never before the Europeans it never exist." When I hear that, that means someone has told me that they've researched their position, and then they at least taken the time to research the opposite position.
Yeah, and he have a stance on it. I already know his stance on it.
I'm not telling you. It's a stance, and then someone says,
yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Like, if you research it, then you have to say, okay, these are the sources that disagree with my opinion. These are the sources that agree with my opinion. So at least I can at least try to attempt to be as unbiased, or at least have the devil's advocate that goes against my position to say, okay, I understand the counter argument to my argument, right? So
Yeah.
when someone says that, I'm like, the first question I'm going to ask is that, have you done research on to the negative of your position? Like, so if someone says there was no Christianity in West Africa at all whatsoever, or no idea of Christianity prior to European, so I'm going to ask, okay,
Prior to the European, and he gonna say no. He gonna say no, and even your stance, he gonna still tell you the evidence you have is probably still European. I don't know. That's why I'm thinking the route he go with it
Well,
was
that's
still
not. That's not a.
European.
That's not a. Something's not. I mean, evidence is evident. I don't care if it come from European, Asian, African American, whatever. Like,
I ain't talking about the who wrote it. I ain't talking about the people.
mhm.
I'm talking about the people who was here because I think
Well,
in West Africa,
let me give you a
I
perfect.
know people try to do the Coptic, Ethiopian Coptic
No,
Gnostic
no,
route, right?
no. I mean, there's an element to that, but it's not. It's not a direct element. It's too again.
Mm.
Sources. But I would say this. Um, this is why I say the things I say. Like, if someone makes a stance on the topic, for me, this is me.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that you have done the research pro your position and against your position, and that you have conclusion on one way or the other based off the evidences, but you have to be at least aware of the sources that counter to what you're stating. So if someone says, "Oh no, they know what," then I would ask, like, "Okay, have you objectively look at say, hey, let me find the sources that state that there's Christianity in West Africa." If you have not done that, right, because I have on both sides, then I'm going to
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah. I get you.
you're just researching on your issue. If one says, "Oh, they,"
But I think good researchers always research the argument on the opposite side,
well,
though.
this is
Yeah.
what I say, because here's the motivation. Because I hear this a lot. People will say, no, because white people say X, Y, Z. They wouldn't have did, or if you got that information, you got that from some white source or whatever. So let's take that paradigm. If you are discrediting white sources, right? To the large majority of people in general America, Christian America, whatever, they would make the assumption, and it has typically been taught that that Christianity did not get to West Africa until starting with the Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about all of West Africa. You can go to Wikipedia right now; it's going to say that, right? And so that is the prevailing opinion in general Euro-American academia, right? So if I
Yeah.
can provide evidence from people that are part of, but not exclusively only to those same people groups that show something opposite.
Barrett. Let me make a comment. They're gonna take DLG the poet. Cut that out. Be washed with the dagger. What dagger he do? I just had to make that. I had to highlight that. You do a good job, brother. You do a good job. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. So in that context, it's gonna look different. I mean, you're not gonna have the same uh, opinion, because now on one hand you just said that, okay, general academia says X, Y, Z, and then when I show you that, okay, maybe there's some reasons why it hasn't been in general academia, but these sources do exist nonetheless, and there have been nothing to refute that these things have been there. It's just not been used in general academia. It's gonna be like, okay, well, you can't say it's I got it from you got that from white people sources, and you use the same white people sources. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, you can't really do that. Can't really do that aspect. So
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think there would be because I want to see the evidence. That's why I say it'd be good conversation. Uh, that people should see it, right? And we got to take it in accountability. We got to see who the people, the place, and the things are, right? Of these sources. I would like to see it. I'm just saying. I don't. I could believe that Christianity was in West Africa. Before I could believe the Hebrew Israelite story. I'm just saying that I could believe that. I just want to see the evidence. I'm an evidence based person, and I like the argument that people represent. That's all I'm saying. I'm that type of guy.
led me to even begin to search conclusion, right? So on the one hand, we say African peoples, right, on the continent of Africa, were very mobile. They were not stationary. They moved in migrations,
Yeah.
and sometimes across the whole continent. Okay, we understand that. We understand that there was some type of trade going on between East, Middle, and West Africa in some form or fashion. There was something going on. I mean, we even know even the pillage of Mansa Musa from West Africa all the way to Mecca. He had to go through East Africa, so we know at least by the time of Mansa Musa in 1300 that existed, right?
Yeah.
So we know that. All right, okay, cool. And we know that if you know the general understanding of how Christianity spread amongst all 3 continents, we know that the rate it spread, we know how it spread, and we know that it was different. It was usually neighbor by neighbor. It wasn't some big evangelization mission. Initially, it was just this area, eventually missions and tells people from that area and so on and so forth. Okay, so if we know that the first 2 exist, and this is the identity, one of the identities of what Christianity and Christian people do, then we can make at least a logical assumption that in some way, form, or fashion, that Christianity reached West Africa, and however because some people have different definitions of it. But I can give a broader, smaller term and say, okay, Christianity, because all you need is one person, that Christianity reached West Africa, and there were Christians in West Africa, right? And it existed. It doesn't mean it's a majority. It could be extreme minority. It can be 2 people, right? But you can now say like, okay.
So you gonna do the outliner argument?
The what?
The outliner argument.
It's not saying the outline. It's not an outline argument. It's just saying that if you say XYZ did not exist, the burden, all I have to do is show the evidence, or at least.
Yeah, I mean, people could say they had crypto Jews over here in Puerto Rico or something, right? Or whatever they was in, right? One of them over there in the West Indies.
We don't have any we don't have any evidence that it happened, and subjective that it can happen. Because then how would they get here? Because that was not an aspect of what Jews doing travel across the seas at the time, especially at the time that they would have to have come here. Then it wouldn't make it's not a characteristic of the people group or the time frame or the means to do as such. What I'm stating is that everything that I'm saying is that the people group, the means to do as such, all existed at the time, right? From a logical standpoint, like you be like, okay. Right. I mean, you can just go travel across the Sahel. It's not that difficult. People do it all the time now, and it's on routes that they historically always used. And we know how the information passed. People had spiritualities. People pass different ways of life. X, Y, Z, right? And we're talking about again West Africa. It is not saying that the Portuguese didn't, when opponents are bringing things to certain points of West Africa, especially along the coast. But again, to encompass all of West Africa, you're not limited only to the coast. You have to go into West Africa proper. So again, it was more logical that some people crossed the Iberian Peninsula and went all the way around to go into West Africa, or people naturally went from the Sahelic regions in Northwest and Northeast Africa and could have traversed through Middle to Central Africa, Middle to West Africa, as they've always done for thousands of years throughout migrations, trade patterns, or whatever. I'm picking the latter because it's just.
You taking the latter, okay? Byron, thank you for being on the show. I'm gonna go and close it out, brother. There you have it, Byron. I love this conversation. I wish I would have had this one earlier, before. I'm getting sleepy now, Byron. I ain't gonna lie. We've been on here for 5 hours. And yeah, brother. I like this geek stuff. I need to go to get an energy drink. I'll probably go another 2 hours with you. Yeah, but yeah, man. Thank you, brother. If anything you want to say before you leave, go ahead, bro.
No, man, I'm good. Just
okay. There you have it, Byron Wash, y'all. It's rare till he can be on the show. Maybe we can see him more. So peace out, everybody.
Y'all niggas are fucked up now. I ain't really got to say shit. You heard me? Like my motherfucking dog talking. Third coast.
2800 Houston Street, nigga, big money Texas, man. Long Star, man, what y'all know about them Texas boys, cuz? Real talk.
It's cool when they talk shit. It's a problem when I talk shit. Fuck them. Got niggas in Texas. Them niggas retarded. Them niggas is restless. I ain't bumping nobody. If we ain't locked in, then it's fuck you. My aim on 556, that bitch will bring 5 niggas to touch you. I just left Galveston. Them niggas get money, them niggas can know what? Damn, I'm having fun with them. They just bumping, ain't nothing with them. I'm hearing that whack shit. Go get that shit back, whoever smoke blunts with them. They hate that I'm on now. My gun in my lap, my shit in the winter. Think I ain't gon' dump? Shoot this bitch till I fall, let's shout out November. Like, ooh, he shining. Look at that rich nigga, ooh, he shining. They speaking on King Self. They thinking shit sweet, I'm promoting violence. My main bitch thuggin'. She thuggin' in public, she tuggin' my papers. Remember pulling village, I was broke as a bitch, now I'm seeing my vision. Don't act like you love a nigga, cause a nigga don't turn on they brother nigga. These niggas will switch on they brother nigga. Turn out, then act like a other nigga. I put that on my granddaddy. They dissin', they whack at it. Bitches look, now they backtracking. My truck, I'm a black matty. They talking about sliding on who? They talking about snitching on who, nigga? 53 shots in this chopper, but shoot 33, I leave 43 dead on me. So I see nigga my foot on they neck. Smoking the cess and I'm getting the check. 30 carats in my chain, they baguette. Put my brothers on the list for a check, sing I'm last in. They couldn't talk to me back then. My bank account past 10. I just bought a black FN. While I'm in your city, you know when I'm on King Self, don't tap in. I don't wanna speak, I don't wanna lean, just give me your chin so I can break that bitch. Look.
Fuck a Ruben and fuck the bitches they run with, fuck ass niggas.